PlayStation-wise. Alright. Now we're back in the present after we explored a little bit. Do I keep all this stuff from... No. What's this? Gallery pamphlet. Zodiac Hall building map. Oh, this was... Oh, shit. This was the, that was the dude's mansion 18 years ago. Each room is kept at a specific temperature to reflect the seasons it represents. Whoa, went deep on that one. Sorry, Miles Reno. Didn't mean to bend your ear for so long. I had no idea that was how it all came about. I read the files, but they don't go anywhere near the level of detail. I'll bet they paint things in a much rosier light for the prosecution, too. Von Karma was one in charge, after all. What happened with the case after that? Well, what with the ice sculptures vanishing from the victim's room, things hit a bit of a rough patch. So rough, in fact, that it took a full year before they could even reach a verdict of the trial. A year? This was back before they brought in the whole initial trial thing. You didn't have to finish up in double quick time like you do nowadays. I see. Did you ever find out how the victim's creations managed to just disappear? Well, forget the voice I did for Fender. I don't know if I'll do the one for Gregory again, but I do want to do the one for Fender. They were sorbets or frozen desserts or whatever you want to call them. Ice in other words. And if it's made of ice, it can melt, which is exactly what they concluded must have happened. But there's a chance that wasn't how things actually went down. What do you mean? So this place is a gallery these days. But back then, it was Samson Tongaroa's place, yeah? Indeed. On the site of the IS-7 incident. Well, word is Frost's ice sculptures are suddenly back on display 18 years after that fateful day. Fairy sculptures the victim made? Who knows? Could be they're just molding on the originals. But I figured it was worth coming down for a little look-see just in case. Seemed like the least I could do for poor old Gregory. Well, alrighty then. Let's go take a look at these icy marvels, shall we, kiddo? I believe they're on display in the winter wing, as it was very snazzily known. So, winter wing, winter wing. Huh? I don't believe it, it's locked. The gallery's open for bids, but the winter wonder wing's off limits? What gives? Fender? Perhaps you should look more closely at the pamphlet we were given. The winter wing is over there. It is? Freaky. Could have sworn it was this one. Anywho, shall we? Time to dive in on and see what we should have seen 18 years ago. Oh shit, it's them! It's Damask. It's Damask and, I think her name's Desiree? Booba lady? I see they still keep it chilly all heck in these rooms. I'm about to turn into a popsicle stick. It is the winter wing, you know, but you're right. It's like a freezer in here. Could be a trick of the light, but it feels like the whole room is made of ice. Oh shit. That was Edgeworth, not Fender. The temperature controls will be somewhere at the back there if my memory serves. Hey, Master, can you go peep to the degree count? I'm thinking a complaint to management is in order. There is such a thing as too cold, yeah? Alright, if you insist. Take your time, mosey around, take in the sights while you're at it. I've got a camera I need to prep for action. I feel like your pop might appreciate a picture of all this. I'll put it on his grave so we can have a gander. Of course. Of course we gotta talk to these two, though. Even so, soon, Miles, stick around and take in the sights. Might as well while we're here. It's too cold. I was thinking I'd head somewhere warmer. If you want, I could lend you some of the old Fender threads. In exchange for your jacket, of course. I'll be fine, thank you. Seems to have to stick it out a little longer. I didn't mean to try and leave. So how about this? I scream out, oh no, this must be the work of that villain Damask. Yeah, and I go, that's me, the legendary Mask Damask. That's what it was, Mask Damask. Yeah, and then no, say that, and you'll be in cuffs before you can blink, Ronnie. Gotta take this more seriously, otherwise how are we gonna get to this market to sell? What exactly are these two plotting? A boy wearing a backpack. What's he doing on a gallery on his own? She wanted to run a gallery so bad she just quit the industry? I don't get it. I just don't get it. Does this boy know the owner of the gallery, perhaps? There are 2 large ice statues on display here. Guess these are the remakes of Frost's work from 18 years back. Real eye-catching stuff. Ice sculpture is a heck of an art form, huh? It is. These are the works that my father never got to see. They think that I get to see them instead, so many years later. Sorry to butt in while you're deep in a think hole, Milester. Would you mind looking this way a sec? This way? Beautiful. Yeah, just like that. That is awesome, bro. Can I get rid of this text? I want to get rid of this text. Let me get rid of this text. Aww. Sad cheese. Please don't do that again. I don't like having my picture taken. My bad, big guy. My bad. Had to check if this whole thing's still working is all. Now that you mention it, your camera does look rather ancient. Yep, vintage model. You ever heard of an instant camera? It develops the pictures right after you take the shot. Still twist my noggin trying to think how it works. I know what an instant camera is, although I've never used one. Should've known Mr. Know-It-All wouldn't know it all. You really are your father's son. Alright, step aside. I need to get some good shots of the room here. Aww. For all his joking, he looks very serious about the pictures he's taking. He must have his own theories about the IS-7 incident. Ooh, I should have been a paparazzo. These are golden. They develop right away. Want to see? Well, since you've already shoved one in my face. Alright, Brainiac, question. What do these 2 sculptures represent? They appear to represent Taurus and Gemini, 2 constellations best observed during wintertime. Bingo! He shoots, he scores! Ooh, you're a regular encyclopedia, Master. Guess that's why this is the winter wing, right? They had the winter star stuff on display here. Anyway, seeing as I'm the nicest old rogue on the block, that's one for your keepsies. Thanks. I'll say, I think that stone might be the murder weapon from way back when, too. Up there. So the victim made the same Zodiac statues out of flavored ice for the contest 18 years ago? Sure did. Lovingly crafted life-size desserts. Only ever saw the old ones in the photos, though. But these are the spit. These are the spit of the originals. This is what you wanted to show me? Yep. I think Gregory would have wanted you to see him too. And I may not have had it in me to come here on my own. Sorry to drag you along. Not at all. I'm happy to be able to see where my father's final case unfolded. Good to hear you say so, Palio. Let's say we grab another quick snap to commemorate this heartwarming occasion. Absolutely not. Not 1 Miles? Come on, bro. Huh? Fender, I can't seem to find the temperature controls you mentioned. Oh yeah, it's a little tricky if you don't know where it is at. Hey, I have it open for you in a jiffy. Huh? Dang, this thing's locked. Makes sense, I guess. We want the visitors cranking up the thermostat and melting the art. According to that pamphlet, the winter wing is kept at a constant 27 degrees. Ooh-wee, that's colder than a snowman's cold bits. I'm gonna freeze to death in here. Guess there's only one thing for it. I'm getting a snuggle. Hey, what's with the icy stare? You want me to freeze to death? No. Might as well do the full tour while we're here. I suppose so. Oh, somebody's yelling. Who's yelling? What was that? Came from the fountain room. Come on, let's go see what's up. I like when he holds his hat. Larry! Oh, this is when he was, Larice. There's someone on the ground, and is that... Oh, shit. Larry, what are you doing here? Actually, never mind that. What on earth is going on? Edgy! You should have seen it. It was awful. Just calm down and tell me why there's an unconscious man on the floor. I didn't do anything. He just fell down in front of me. Wait, I know this guy. Is everything all right? Wow, she's still here? That little lady that gorilla wanted so bad? She's still here? Don't you know it's rude to make a racket in an art gallery, you naughty boys? Wait, this smell. He's still breathing, but I know these symptoms. It's not safe, Miles. We need to get everybody out of here. Everyone with me. There isn't a moment to lose. There's poison gas coming out of that room. Oh, shit. Poison gas? Oh, I like the way Larry walks, bro. How's the victim doing, Fender? Not good. He's inhaled a lot of gas. He's still out, and it sounds like it's pretty serious. But the paramedics said there were no signs of external injury and that he was conscious before it happened. Anyway, he's alive, just barely. He's lucky we found him when we did. But like I said, he's not out of the woods yet. They put him in the medical room with a specialist. I see. I couldn't help noticing that it seemed like you knew him, Fender. Sure do. That was Carmelo Gusto. He was here back when the whole IS-7 thing went down. The confectioner. So he was here 18 years ago, too. Anywho, this guy here seems like he's in rude health. Old pal of yours, Malzarino? Yes, something like that. I'm glad you're okay, Larry. Aw, something like that? Are you serious, Edgy? You've known me since elementary school. Crush a guy's feelings, why don't you? Anyway, you know you're supposed to call me Larice Donum when I'm dressed like this. So no more Larry, okay? Got that? This is Larry Butts. He's a bit of a troublemaker, but he's one of my only friends from back when we were little kids. Ever since he developed a passion for art, he's been trying to make it big as Larice Donum. A new name or not, he's still the same old Larry. I'm so glad Larry's back, bro. Whoa, grade school buddies. I need to go tell Gregory about this. He'll be over the moon when he hears you have a pal. He was worried you would never click with anybody. Hear that, Edgy? You're lucky to have a friend like me. Never knew I was the cause of such worries from my father. Yeah, bro, because you were weird as a kid. You had two friends, Phoenix and Larry. Phoenix, Larry, to Edgeworth. What a ragtag group of kids. Never mind that now, Larry. What are you doing here? Larice, Edgy. How many times do I have to tell you it's Larice? What are you doing here? What's with the demon eyes? All right, I'll talk. Just stop looking at me like that. Good. Now talk. You want to know why I'm here? Why the heck do you think? For my art, of course. Oh, and I'm coming on a date here with Lulu soon. So I thought I'd better scope out the place. So not ask you for your art at all. Reese, my man, an artist and a romantic. You have to introduce me to this lady friend of yours. Oh, sure, it's nice to have somebody take an interest for once. Spare me. Oh, by the way, Lauricio, did you notice anything when you found the victim? Nothing in particular. Did you say you've seen something awful? Oh, that. The old guy, he just appeared and then splat, he was on the floor. Scared the life out of me. But for once, I had nothing to do with any of it. Don't look so proud. That's the least we should be able to hope for. Damn, she's still doing this. Honored guest, I can only apologize for the trouble you've experienced. I'm Judy Bound, the gallery manager. Another person from the IS-7 incident. Good to see you, Judes. Mr. Fender, it's always a pleasure. She was at the reception desk when we arrived, so she's the one in charge here. Oh, and they got this song playing. I can't believe you had to go through something so awful, and on your first day in business. Hey, quit that. It's not your fault. Oh, wait, I guess I better introduce you guys. Judy, meet Miles Edgeworth, son of the late, great Gregory. Really? You're Mr. Edgeworth's son? Well. Is she dancing? Isn't this fabulous? That great man's son here with us. 18 long years have passed, but now look, he's here at last. It's very lovely to meet you, Mr. Fine Attorney number 2. Is she singing? I didn't know she was singing. Judy, that was the bomb. I see you're in good voices ever. Miles Edgeworth, prosecutor. It's a pleasure to meet you. Oh, you're a prosecutor? I'm so sorry. Forgive me for jumping to conclusions. She's very polite, but there's something strange about her. Hey, Judy, can I, get an autograph? You can write it in here. Well, if you're sure you'd even want such a thing. Why do you want it, Larry? Rude! You know who she is, right? Come on, Master. You don't keep up with showbiz news or something? Guess that's no big surprise. What's going on? Why are they looking at me like that? Judy here is a living legend. It's not just TV, movies, musicals, chart-topping hits. You name it. Oh, don't be silly. I'm just a humble art gallery owner now, and I finally quit the biz for good. I finished shooting my last movie just the other day, in fact. Some of my co-stars were even kind enough to say that they would come visit once we open. Anyway, here you are. And good luck with your artistic endeavors. Thanks so much, Judy. I'll treasure it till my dying day. Ah, you and me are peas in a pod, Larice. Peas in a gosh dang pod. How lovely for you both. Was I on the money? I was on the money, 34. Larry, could you go practice your drawing somewhere or something? You did come all the way out here to an art gallery after all. It would be a shame for you to waste the opportunity. Real artists drawing our exhibits? What an honor. Guess even you can have a bright idea once in a while, Edgy. All right, Judy, seeing as you were so nice about it, I guess I will. Be right back. He's a real live wire, that one. That's one way of putting it. I can only apologize. By the way, there was another woman with you before. Where is she now? You mean Delica? Delica Scone? She's in the medical room helping to care for Mr. Gusto. I call it the medical room, but it's nothing quite so grand, of course. I couldn't stay with them as I'm the only one on staff and I can't leave the gallery unattended for long. Delica Scone. You've heard that name before, haven't we, Fender? Sure have. Sounds like our IS-7 bingo card is complete. Something tells me this isn't a coinky-dink. Perhaps I could offer you gentlemen a cup of tea? Drop the old Judy Baum special blend? Why not, for old time's sake? That would be lovely, thank you. Bing, bing, bing. Now, if you'll both excuse me, I better go and explain things to the other visitors. You do your thing, Judes. Thanks again. I don't trust her, bro. I don't trust her. This aroma. Ceylon, I believe? Let's give it a try. This is a fine blend. A top quality Ceylon indeed. It's citrus aroma. It's said to improve one's ability to concentrate, right? Hey, your old man said those exact words 18 years ago. Really takes me back. There's just one difference. Jude's cooled the saucers back then. Not today, though, it seems. Anyway. Don't you think this is all a little odd? Every single person from an 18-year-old case all assembled in the same place at the same time? Yes, it's almost feels like as if an investigation is in order. Gumshoe and Kay! Of course, you can't do an investigation without them two, bruh. Now the whole gang's here. Mr. Edgeworth, sir, you're all right? Mr. Edgeworth, Mr. Fender. We heard you got caught up in a poison gas attack, so we came as fast as we could. Well, if it isn't the cavalry. Come on, team, bring it in. I love him. No way. Besides, you're both doing just fine. Gummy and I got ourselves all worked up over nothing. Detective Gumshoe, what were you thinking bringing Kay with you? Sorry, sir. I knew it was dangerous, with the poison gas and all, but she wouldn't take no for an answer. I ran and I ran and I ran and I ran, but I just couldn't shake her off. When it comes to running away, the great thief right here is a world champ. Then run away. Go chase the poor detective. Look at that whack-ass mask. All set, sir. Just say the word and I'll head in there and start investigating. You guys stay here, that gas could still be dangerous. All right, we're counting on you, detective. Good luck in there, Dickie boy. Not Dickie boy. No way, Gummy almost looked like a real detective. I'm so proud of him. But he is a real detective. This is Edgeworth speaking. Mr. Edgeworth, looks like the gas has mostly dissipated, sir. Very good, detective. Now calm down and tell me what you see. Yes, sir. First up the exhibits, there's a statue of 2 people on the left side. And on the right side, some kind of 2-horned animal. Like a statue of 2 people and a 2-horned animal. Sounds familiar. In fact, it sounds identical to the display in the Winter Wing. Other than that, the place is looking pretty damp. The sprinkler sprayed all the place. I was just gonna say, wait, this is an exact copy of the other room. What the fuck? Must be what stopped the gas from spreading. The sprinklers? Are there any signs of a fire? No, sir. The fire alarm hasn't been triggered either. Flickers look like the type that detect heat and smoke. When they detect something, they send an alarm, either fire or smoke, to the security room. Guess they read the gas as smoke and triggered the smoke alarm that way. Was anyone in the security room when that alarm went off? This place only has 1 employee, and that's Judy Bound, the manager. And she was at the reception desk across from the security room the whole time since the gallery opened. So she heard the alarm from across the way and turned on the sprinklers? Yep, seems they can only be switched on manually, and only from there. Wouldn't want the art getting soaked for no good reason, I guess. But if it's manual, you can maybe even check how bad the fire was and try to get some stuff out first. So the security setup is geared around protecting the exhibits. That makes sense in an art gallery, I guess. One more thing, it's freezing in here. This isn't the autumn wing. It's the deep midwinter wing. The autumn wing is cold too? I checked the temperature. It's 26.5 degrees in here, sir. Why is the autumn wing being kept at the same temperature as the winter wing? That's about all I've got for now. I'll let you know if I find anything else, sir. Understood. Thank you, Detective Gumshoe. Look at Gumshoe. What did Gummy have to say? He said the autumn wing is actually quite wintry. Huh? I don't get it. I'm wondering what it could mean myself, but it's a bit hard to tell from out here. We should try to get in there as soon as the police are done with their investigation. Amen to that. We need to see what the deal is for ourselves. Is there anybody else who might know something in the meantime? Oh yeah, there is one guy, Miles' best bud. His... what? Ugh, if we have to. And I guess we have to. Louise? Wait, that's... Okay, didn't expect to see you here. You're looking as fresh-faced as ever. Yeah, long time no see, Larry, right? So here's the deal, Kate. I'm Louise right now. You see, I'm also a bit of an artist. Ah, so you're an alias. So it's your alias. I like it. Good to see you, Louise. I always knew you were a nice, thoughtful kid. Unlike some people. I love Larry and Edgeworth. Back and forth, bro. I have some questions for you, Larry. What the? How am I a suspect? Just because I found the guy doesn't mean I did the crime. I never said you did. I just need you to tell us what you saw. You said you saw something awful. How so exactly? Look, I didn't see anything, and I didn't do anything, okay? I don't think I did anyway. Whoa, Chief. You didn't sound too sure of yourself at the end there. There's something you should know about him, Fender. When something smells, it's usually the butts. You've been saying that about Larry for 26 years now. His ability to attract trouble is legendary, for want of a better word. His ability to cause trouble, too. I suppose I better find out what he did this time. Brudge 3KW. Alright, here we go, Larry. Mine chest! Mine chest with Larry! Our aim is to uncover anything that Larry might be hiding. However, I didn't see anything and I didn't do anything. You can't prove otherwise. Damn. It's almost impossible for him to keep his cool. I need to buy my time when he gets agitated and wait for him to calm down. I'll start by asking him to go into detail about what he's doing here. He shouldn't prove to be too much of a challenge. So let's get this over with. I was gonna say, chess with Larry does not seem pretty hard. Why exactly did you come to the gallery today? What kind of question is that? What, you think I don't think... Wait, Buffalo. What, you think I don't belong in a gallery or something? Hey, if you're gonna ignore me, I'm gonna paint your portrait. And when I'm done, I'll scribble all over it. I'm joking, okay? I never scribble on one of my pieces. How could I? They're valuable artworks. According to you, perhaps. I imagine I might struggle to agree. Oh, laugh it up, funny guy. Luckily, some people actually believe in my work. She's called Lulu, okay? She says my pictures are masterpieces. So if she likes something, I'll draw it for her, or anything at all. And where is this Lulu? How come you're here alone? What a guy can't be apart from his girlfriend for 1 second. I have my own life too, you know. Fine. Lulu says she's a Gemini, okay? So I thought I could do a sketch of her, of the statue to show her on our date. I expect you're pretty proud of this sketch? Not so much this time, actually. But you know, it being her sign and all, I just thought maybe she might kind of like it. How very like you to try and tell me nothing and give so much away in the process. So to summarize, you came here today to draw a sketch of the Gemini statue for your girlfriend, Lulu? What? How'd you figure all that out? From your incessant prattling, you just can't help yourself, can you? Fine, then I won't say another word. Larry might want to keep his mouth shut now, but I have my answers one way or another. Let's ask him what he did after he arrived here at the gallery. We'll see soon enough what he's hiding. It's just a matter of time. All right, tell me what you did once you arrived here. Well, what's the big idea? Why are you staring at me like that? I don't remember. I don't have a pamphlet, so I don't know what was where. I just kind of hung around by the fountain. You didn't receive a pamphlet when you paid your entrance fee at the reception desk? Huh? You mean entry isn't, it's not free to get in here? You mean to tell me that you entered without paying? I'm sorry, okay? It wasn't deliberate. There wasn't anybody at the reception desk is all. So I just thought I thought entry must be free. You're saying Miss Bound was at the reception desk at the time? Yeah, but it looked like there was maybe somebody in the little room opposite. Interesting. According to Detective Chumshoe, Miss Bound had to enter the security room to activate the sprinkler system. I expect she wasn't at the reception desk because she was busy responding to the incident. And right after, she finally got the place open for business, too. Poor Judy. The Winter Wing, the gallery's greatest attraction. And it's gonna be ruined now. You say you don't have a pamphlet, and yet you seem to know all about the Winter Wing. For example, at the Gemini statue you came here to draw just so happens to be in said room. Therefore, it was your intention to visit the Winter Wing all along, wasn't it? How? How'd you get me again? Fine, you're right. I came here for the Gemini statue. And yeah, I came here to visit the Winter Wing. I won't deny it. Harry's not one to confess so easily. Then again, he's always managed to surprise me in unusual ways. Let's see what more he can tell us about the Winter Wing. I do like this mind chest stuff. I'm starting to get used to it. I expect even Larry has found his feet a little by now. I'll have to watch his reactions more carefully and see what information I can glean from him. I'm done with you. Go home. That's it. I'm done with you, Larry. Go home. You sure? I mean, I'll totally leave it. That's cool. I was just thinking of dropping by Lulu's anyhow. No, wait. I didn't mean... My mistake. Seriously, Edgy, I really think it's time you start taking responsibility for the stuff you say, don't you? Scolded? By Larry? Forgive me. Would you mind giving me just a little more of your time? If I have to, I guess. Maybe you could sweeten the deal with a free dinner? Very well. Must be more careful about what I say. Yeah, now you owe Larry a dinner. Good job, Edgeworth. Larry, be honest. Did you enter the Winter Wing? What is that? Is that suspicion I see in your eyes? I tried to get in there, sure, but... You tried to get in, but you couldn't? Yeah, exactly. I wanted to get in there, but that old guy came out and fell to the ground, and like I said, it was all pretty shocking. So you only went to the Winter Wing because the victim emerged and collapsed in front of you? Yeah, he came out of the winter wing door and then down he went. But wasn't it the autumn wing that the victim came out of? If that stupid poison gas thing had never happened, I'd be in there happily sketching away right now. Larry seems to have the autumn and winter wings mixed up. Regardless, it seems his aim really was to make a sketch of one of the statues. This could be a useful clue. Which one did I do? You don't let up, do you? I told you I didn't see anything. Galleries were nice and all, but I changed my mind once I got here. Thought I'd go meet my girlfriend instead. Maybe it's time to deploy my clue. I didn't think I got the right one. Didn't you say you came here to make a sketch of one of the statues for your girlfriend? You gave up on that a little easily, didn't you? Surely you saw something, even if you were distracted by the victim's collapse. Well, I did not see something, but that doesn't prove that I did see something totally terrifying either, does it? Really, Larry? You could at least try to make this a little harder for me. I put it to you, Larry Butts, that you did in fact see something totally terrifying. Yeah, there it is. How do you do it, Edgy? Are you some kind of mind reader? Fine. I guess there's no point trying to keep it a secret any longer. Pathetic. I'm not sure there's much point in you trying to keep any secrets, given your track record. It wasn't exactly the most edifying use of my time, but that's checkmate. Yo. I couldn't help start staring at the Gemini statue. My eyes were drawn to it.
Objection!
You keep talking about a Gemini statue, but there's no way you saw what you think you saw. It's simply not possible. What do you mean? You think I saw a ghost statue or something? Larry's still laboring under the misconception that he was looking at the winter wing. This piece of evidence shows us what Larry was really looking at.
Take that!
Take a look at this pamphlet. The autumn wing features sculptures depicting Capricorn, Aquarius, Pisces, and Aries. Not only that, but I've seen a statue depicting Gemini in the winter wing for myself. Which means that whatever you saw can't have been a statue of Gemini. Guess that makes sense. Why is he not more surprised by that? It did seem pretty weird now that I think about it. One of the two people did look like a goddess. So the other stuff, I guess that wasn't my imagination either. Other stuff? You're interested in it too, aren't you, Edgy? Great, let me show you. Show me? What exactly? I drew a picture of it all. Got the whole scene down exactly as I saw it. But I'm still not that confident in my work, so, well, I want to see. Really? All right, here. Yo, that was easy. Damn! Is that thing crying blood? What on earth? It's grotesque. You trying to tell me that the statue is crying tears of blood? I have to say, Laurice, it's pretty scary. Right? Because it was scary. It was supposed to be a statue of Gemini, but it up and turned into a goddess right before my eyes. It freaked me out so bad I screamed out loud. So he wasn't reacting to the victim collapsing in front of him after all. Wait, you say it turned into a goddess. What do you mean exactly? What do you mean, what do I mean? The bottom half was suddenly a fish, that's what I mean. Goddess with a fishy bottom half? Sounds like Pisces to me. I heard it's all based on this legend of a goddess and her son turned into a fish to escape some baddie. Wow, really? I thought Pisces was just two plain old fish. Edgy, do you think the statue's cursed? I mean, tears of blood turning into a fish? That's some pretty cursed stuff right there. Don't be a fool. I imagine you simply mistook one statue for the other. Another Larry sketch. Here we go, bro. Down this train. You get to look at Larry's statues more. Yay. Oh, look at you tucking it carefully into your organizer. I simply thought I might have use for it later. Maybe in the bathroom. You're the worst, Edgy, the worst. Edgeworth, why do you be such a dick, dog? Kinda freaky deaky, though, huh? A statue with the bottom half that changed its shape? I'm pretty keen to find out what went down in the auto wing, aren't you? I suppose I am, yes. Could there be some kind of trick to the Pisces statue, perhaps? Yes, Edgeworth speaking. I'm just about done in here, sir. There's no danger from the gas anymore. You can come in now. Thanks. Good work, Detective. It seems it's finally safe to enter the auto wing. The good detective sure has impeccable timing. Come on, let's go take a look. I want to see Pisces. I want to see this Pisces statue. You going in there, Kay? Maybe I should come along, too. You really think I was going to leave you out here on your own? I know better than that. All right, everyone. To the autumn wing. I like the way Larry walks. Here we are at last, and it really does look a lot like the winter wing. Glad you can make it. Oh, hey there. You're, Harry, was it? Good to see you, Harry. No, for the last time, the name is Larice Donham. Detective, your report, if you don't mind. Yes, sir. Okay, so first off, I found a blowtorch. The nozzle was still warm when I found it, so I guess it was used pretty recently. Was somebody using it to heat something? Was the step ladder already like that when you entered? Yeah, guess it was used by whoever let out the gas. The gas was inside the case until someone opened the lid. Is that so? A Pisces statue. Huh? You sure are up on your constellation, sir. You know what the one on the other case is, too? This is the autumn wing, so I imagine it should be Capricorn. Just no fooling you, sir. I thought it was supposed to be Taurus. That weird cloth that's draped around it kind of tripped me up. Isn't that a piece of aluminous cloth from way back when? What's that doing here? Now we have evidence from the IS-70 incident, too? Ah, here we go, bro. It's time to finish our dad's case, bro. Bam, bam, bam. Taking a look around. It seems there's a piece of luminous cloth on each of the other cases, too. Yeah, and then it just makes me want to see what's hiding underneath real bad. Sure, let me whip them all right off for you. Wow, they're beautiful. So the transformation Larry witnessed. Could it have been the moment when the cloth around the Pisces statue lower half fell away? See, Edgy, see? I wasn't imagining things, and I wasn't mistaken. Ugh. Listen, Master. I think we can all agree that this room is fishier than a bucket of fish. My hunch is that somebody deliberately trying to make this room look just like the winter wing. Yes, I was thinking the exact same thing. They even cover the statues up just in such a way as to make them look similar. The cloth over the bottom half, the Pisces, and the Gemini statues look almost the same. Ditto for Capricorn. Cover his bottom half and he looks pretty much like Taurus. The other two can't be fixed as easily, so covering their cases up completely was the only answer. So somebody went to some lengths to disguise the autumn wing as the winter wing. I'd say we need to take a closer look at things in here. Wouldn't you, Fender? Who's holding it? Oh my god. Fucking Eustace. Oh. I love how he gets some goofy ass music, bro. Oh my god. Eustace, please go away. Mr. Winter and Judge Gavel. Ugh, what the heck are you guys doing here? You're the last thing I need. This is my scene, you hear? Mr. Edgeworth, it seems I have failed in my duty yet again. I pray one day to make you see that your presence is not required at every crime scene. And that co-opting co-opting the good detective for your own ends is neither right nor good. I have to give serious consideration as to how the goddess of justice would have me judge you. You got it all wrong. It was me who asked Mr. Edgeworth to help, not the other way around. It was? Well then, you know what that means, Detective Flatfoot. Oh, you mean... Exactly. Your, salary check is taking a hit. Bet you're looking forward to payday now. I always wanted to say that. Man, getting a wage cut from you of all people. Not so fast, Mr. Winter. I was simply assisting with the police's investigation as a witness and bystander. Detective Gumshoe was entirely in the right. Oh, he is, huh? So you're saying I should give him a bonus instead? That's not what I'm saying at all. Hey, I wouldn't mind a little salary bump. The compassion and generosity are truly heartwarming, Eustace. Fucking Eustace. But we must take into account past transgressions when making judgments that concern the future. And I hereby judge Mr. Edgeworth and his associates unfit to tread the hollow ground of this scene. Here we go again, bro. Get out of here. But what? Well, we only just got here. The goddess of justice conferred her blessings on Eustace and Eustace alone. But why? Which you mean this is Mr. Winter's case? That's exactly what she means. It's time for the warm-up act to get off the stage. After all, I solved this one already. I have a suspect lined up and everything. What'd you say? A suspect? Already? Who? Who else but your artist friend over there? Oh my god, poor Larry. Huh? Me? Me? What's going on, Edgy? Your guess is as good as mine. I can't even begin to imagine how the boy's mind works. I'm surprised that you lack the attitude to understand the winning mindset. Lack the attitude? Something tells me he doesn't know the real winning turn of phrases. Well put, Eustace. Mr. Edgeworth does indeed lack a certain aptitude. Yeah, exactly. Where's your aptitude, smart guy? Wow, he's totally shameless. Underestimate my information gathering skills at your own peril. Before we came here, we dropped by the medical room to ask the doctor there a few questions. They told me where the poison gas came from. And where might that have been? It was, it's this chemical you find everywhere. Can't think of the name just now, though. Wait there a second. Let me just call him real quick. Perhaps I can answer your question while Eustace is on the telephone. Why let him make the call if you know the answer? The gas is created by mixing two specific chemicals. Ubiquium, and asphyxin, I think. Affixin? Asphyxion? Ubiquium. What kind of chemicals are they? Ubiquium is a red liquid used in all manner of everyday products. Paint and dishwashing liquids among various others. On its own, it's entirely benign. So it's something anyone could get their hands on? Precisely. But the same cannot be said for asphyxion. Affixin. That does sound nasty. What's it used for? It is the main ingredient in a product called Infesticide. Infesticide Ultra. It is pure white in color and is unavailable to the average consumer. In fact, it is nigh impossible for members of the public to obtain here in this country. As such, we are currently investigating where it might have come from. Ubiquium and pure white asphyxion were mixed together. I'm back, and I know the name of the chemical now. Don't waste your breath. Judge Gavel informed us already. Huh? Oh, great. That'll make this quicker, I guess. So the source of the gas, ubiquium, is used in paint and stuff, right? And there was somebody here at the gallery today who brought paints with them. Your friend, the artist. You can't accuse me just because of that. Objection to the paints on the palette in your hand. Edgy, is this kid okay? He seems a little... Indeed. I haven't known him long, but he's a little prone to jumping to the wrong conclusions. Even, bro, when Larry has to question you, you know you're bad, bro. Motherfucking Larry is questioning you, dog. Hey, quit talking about me like I'm not even here. Ignore them, Eustace. They're simply intimidated by you, nothing more. Why not give them yet another reason to fear you with one of your winning deductions? Winning? Yeah, good idea. Get a load of this, losers. Winner's winning deduction. Our friend, the artist here, won the race to find the victim and was first on the scene, correct? And the gas the victim was poisoned with is made from ubiquium, which is, as we know, is found in paint. He was carrying paint on his person, and he was one winning stride away from the victim. It surely makes him the winner of on our list of suspects. Right, Gavel? Right, Gavel? Gaviel? Gavel? Oh my god, I can't. Jesus. You think so too, right? It's a possibility that certainly can't be discounted. Well, would the artist like to share his versions of the event? Did you leave red paint at the scene of the crime? Or something more sinister? catalyst for a cloud of toxic gas, perhaps? I think I might have left my heart there, you know. And you might have picked it up. I would be careful what you say to me. My gavel is already primed to deliver a guilty verdict.
Objection!
Ignore him, please, Your Honor. It's for the best.
Objection!
Quit stalling! You can't run away from the fact that my reasoning is flawless. It's far from it, Eustace. Far from it. So admit defeat and crawl on out of here with your tails between your legs because I win. I have better things to do than pick holes in your faulty logic, but I don't suppose I have much choice.
Hold it!
I'll be the first to admit that he's something of a suspicious character.
Objection!
Objection! First to admit? Are you trying to beat me to it? Well, you can't because I'm the winner. I'm the first rate, always. Huh? I'm a first-rate artist, you say? Larry, I don't need you to make this any more convoluted than it already is. Please, Mr. Winter, just continue. I'll let you do shit with the lockers. Yeah, I know that.
Hold it!
I know that much. We do indeed. It seems it's found in a number of everyday products. Right? Which makes your friend's paint pretty darn suspicious. Wasn't it always found in a bunch of other stuff, too? She has a winning point, I guess. Right, Gavel? I suppose she does. As I said, ubiquinum is also found in dishwashing liquids, among other things. In other words, paint isn't the only possible explanation. No, but just listen to the rest of my amazing deduction, will you?
Hold it!
It's by no means certain that paint was the source of the poison gas. Huh. Well, it's by no means certain that it wasn't either. Was that supposed to sound clever? Copying Mr. Edgeworth's speaking style isn't a shortcut to looking cool, you know. Make it sound as if you think there's something wrong with how I speak. Anyway, to bring it all home, my winning deduction shows that he had paint and who was closest to the victim.
Hold it!
That's really all you're basing your suspicions of, Mr. Butts on? What? You have a problem with that? Then show me some proof, loser. Put up or shut up. He's literally asking for it, Mr. Edgeworth. He is. So let's find the right piece of evidence and really give it to him. We know that Mr. Winter isn't much of a listener. We also know that his reasoning is likely to be based on a flawed assumption. Yeah, he even phoned the other guy, and he still got it wrong somehow. Let's get this over with as quickly as we can. It's a waste of all of our time. True!
Objection!
God damn it, Eustace. Your deductions are anything but winning, I'm afraid. Unless you're looking to win a prize for incoherence. Heh, so you agree that I deserve a prize? What you deserve is to be set right. The gas came from within the case containing the sculpture of Pisces. It did. It was created by the artist guy. With the red paint that we know is full of ubiquinum. I'm going to offer you a bit of advice. One prosecutor to another. It always helps to listen carefully to others. This gas is created when ubiquinum is mixed with another substance. Asphyxion. Paint containing ubiquinum alone wouldn't create any kind of gas at all. It wouldn't? I thought they said that the guy was asphyxiated with ubiquinum. So you're telling me this was based on a mishearing of the forensics report? Yeah. This gas had already done its work by the time Mr. Butts found the victim. Perhaps it's your own aptitude you should be worrying about. My aptitude? What does that even mean? You literally used the word 5 minutes ago. It means one's ability or how suited one is to a particular task. Use this. An attitude. The other word you misused only minutes ago as well is another thing entirely. I get what you're doing. You're making fun of me again. What I'm doing is demonstrating that you do not have the aptitude required to head on up this investigation.
Overruled.
Fuck you mean overruled? Before you go any further, you might wish to consider some of the flaws in your own statements. If you didn't have Gavel with you, you'd be cooked, Eustace. And what flaws might those be? Firstly, that you cannot prove your artist friend did not enter the automobile. And secondly, that you cannot prove that the red paint did not have something to do with the crime. But the paint isn't important on its own, surely. What's important is the combination of the red ubiquinum with white asphyxion. How exactly were the two substances introduced to one another? Surely we need to figure out that before anything else. Indeed we do. And that is what Eustace will be investigating next. Or he would already be investigating had you not been here making needless trouble. We are not here to make trouble. Quite the opposite, in fact. We're here to help. Are you saying you know how the gas was made? I don't believe you. I can certainly point you toward a vital clue as to how it was done. He's bluffing, Eustace. Ignore him. It's fine, Cavell. He's clearly lying. Might as well let him talk himself even further into a corner. If you are sure. Come on, then. Show me what you've got. What shows how the gas was created, huh?
Take that!
You're saying this somehow shows us the chemicals were mixed to make the poison gas? Heh, that's exactly what I'm saying, yes. Thank you for noticing. Well, they do say I have a good eye. The red tears Mr. Butts saw. That was ubiquium. Wait a second. You're saying the statue cried the stuff out? What, so our culprit is somehow some kind of evil spirit? How much time am I gonna have to waste talking him through this step by step? The red tears alone would not have been enough to create the gas. They must have mixed with something inside that case. What? What evidence do you have that that's what happened? The evidence is right there in the sketch I just showed you. I need to point out the part that shows that the two liquids have mixed together.
Take that!
Observe the pool of pink liquid beneath the Pisces statue glass case. This clearly shows that the two chemicals mixed. What? Wait, I don't get it. How does that prove that some ubiquium mixed with some asphyxiant? We have an artist with us. Why don't we ask him? Larry, you claim to be something of a painter. I imagine you have some experience mixing colors. What happens when you mix red with white? Don't treat me like a dumb Angie. I did graduate from junior high, you know. Any idiot knows that red and white makes pink. I mean, there's variations. You got your rose pinks and your baby pinks.
Hold it!
That will be more than enough, thank you. Do you see what I'm getting at now, Mr. Winter? Oh, I think I do. Ubiquium is red, asphyxiant is white. Mix the two together, and you get pink. That's what the pink liquid is. Yes, very good. We got there in the end. Babysitting this guy. Yes, interesting. I think you finally convinced him.
Overruled.
Mr. Edgeworth, you have raised a possibility, nothing more. We cannot know for sure that this shows the result of two chemicals having mixed. And besides, the sketch you are attempting to enter as evidence was drawn by a suspect. How can we possibly hope to rely on its veracity? Hey, I drew everything exactly as I saw it. A true artist never lies or embellishes the truth. Forgive me, but I did not ask for your opinion. Oof, she's a cold one, but I like it. You may rest assured, Your Honor, that I mean to prove my theory to all of our satisfaction.
Overruled.
It may not be wise to jeopardize your position any further, Mr. Edgeworth. Especially as there is another question to which you have yet to prove a satisfactory answer. How can you prove that this man did not enter the Autumn Wing? Because it was locked. Until you were able to, there was a little more to discuss. Wait, maybe the victim could help us out with that. Mr. Gusto? He is still unconscious and in critical condition. He is? Oh. Larry, why are you over there? Now, if you don't mind, Eustace needs to carry out his own investigation of this area. If you would be so kind as to leave him in peace. Yeah, hold on, Fender. That was Fender, I know it was. Definitely. Oh, it's Larry. For the presiding judge's sake, I pray to the goddess that you need not to ever be summoned to testify. Now then, is there something you wish to say? Mr. Artist? If you just hold that pose for a moment there, Miss Ice Queen. I am Justice Verity Gavell, and I would be grateful if you would dispense with the childish, epithets. Oh ho, father, she tells me your name. Nice to meet you, Verity. Name's Larice Donham, but you can call me Larice. If you can stop wasting the court's time, Mr. Donham. Oh yeah, sorry, it's just, there's something I forgot to mention. The door was locked. I tried to open it, and then the old guy came tumbling out. It does appear that the door can be unlocked from the inside. However, that does not necessarily mean that it was locked at the time as you claim. Without proof, your statement carries little weight, I'm afraid.
Objection!
Objection! Well, as it happens, I can back our pal up here on that. What? Yep, we tried to come in here too, but it's just like the guy said. It was locked up tight. Ain't that so, Miles Reno? It is. I distinctly remember how it went. Prior to the incident with the gas, it was not possible to enter this room from the outside.
Overruled.
Oh my god. What is to say that your suspicious friend was not in here with the victim the entire time?
Objection!
The fact that he didn't suffer the ill effects of the gas. Searching for a gas mask if you like. I doubt you'll find one. I see. But I suppose we have to take you at your collective word. That was a little too easy. Well, Judge Gavell, you accept that Mr. Butts is no longer a viable suspect? And that once again, Mr. Winter's deductions have fallen short of the mark? What are you talking about? I just need some more information, that's all. Can't blame a guy for being a little hasty with his deductions. You know, it's not cool for a prosecutor to be saying stuff like that, right? Very well. Then perhaps we should call our next suspect. Mr. Donham, you may step down from the stand. Huh? Go, you mean? But I was enjoying our time together, Verity. Let me stick around, please. Overruled. Show no mercy. Squish my heart into a goopy mush. I love it. Who exactly is this next suspect? The pharmacist, Delicate Scone. Your artist friend may have struggled to lay his hands on a bottle of infesticide, Ultra. But someone in your line of work would surely have a better idea where such a thing might be acquired. The court hereby calls for a 10-minute recess. Eustace, we will go and fetch the suspect. Your winning smile will bring her running, I am sure. My winning? Of course, Gavell. Let's go get her at once. Hey, Detective Flatfoot, you carry on investigating while I'm gone, okay? Yeah, sure. Is it possible, could Judge Gavell have suspected Miss Scone from the start? It still doesn't show her age, dog. Bro, why does it show her age? She's hella sus. That didn't even mention it. She wasn't helping Mr. Winter like she usually does, huh? What exactly is your angle here, Judge Gavell? They sure are taking their time. I thought this was supposed to be a 10-minute recess. Sorry to keep you losers waiting. We'll wait no longer. I won the race to find Delicate Scone, and here she is. Hello, dears. This lovely young man said you wanted to speak with me. Delicate Scone, purveyor of the most wondrous wares a pharmacist can offer, at your service. Delicate to my palace, even Miss Delicious to some. You can call me the winner, and I'll call you whatever I want. All right, Winnie Pooh. Winnie Pooh. Whatever you say. It's lovely to meet you, dearie. So much for call me the winner. Oh, have we met before, young man? Get a load of this, Delica. That's Miles Edgeworth, Gregory's son. Well, I never. It's a pleasure to meet you, Miles. Milesy Smiles. If you must address me by my given name, just Miles will do. Oh ho ho, Greggy Pegleg's boy and all grown up, too. Make me feel my age, why don't you? I just wonder how old she is. How do we not know? Somebody ask her. Have Kay ask her, bro. She's a woman. Eustace, I believe we have some questions for our pharmacist. Oh yeah. What brings you to the gallery today, Miss Scone? Why? Why, I came to see dear old Moody Judy, of course. We've been fast friends for 18 long years, and no one's going to stop me visiting her now. I understand that you helped look after Mr. Gusto in the immediate aftermath of the attack. I didn't do much, really. I just whipped up a quick antidote for the dear old doctor. Wow, you can make an antidote just like that? Oh, yes, dear. As long as I have the right ingredients, I can throw together just about any medicine you like. It certainly helped the medical room was well equipped, though. We were much better off treating him than losing vital minutes taking him to a hospital. Anyway, we did whatever we could. The rest, well, that's up to him. And do you know the victim, Miss Delicious? Oh, yes, well, sort of. It's been 18 years since I last saw him. Apparently he's famous these days, one of the best confectioners in the world, or so they say. Interesting. So he's a well-known public figure. Oh, yes, dear, he was on the news and everything. Confectionery crafting king of the world, they said. Wow, so the old dog really went to Zhang Fa and upped his game, just like he said he would. Perhaps if we could proceed to the matter at hand, Miss Scone. Are you familiar with a substance known as infesticide Ultra? Of course, dear. Use it to get rid of, you know what? Oh, it's awfully strong, though. That's why they don't sell it in the shops. Might I ask you what you mean by you know what? The little blighters that frighten the life out of poor innocent ladies like yours truly, that's what. Ghastly little creatures running around people's nice clean kitchens and terrorizing them. Oh, I get it, those. Thank you, Miss Scone. One more question if you don't mind. Are you aware of what happens when the chemicals asphyxion and ubiquium are combined? Oh, yes. It's right there in the FS Guide Ultra instructions. Do not mix with products containing ubiquium, ever. Because if you do, they react with each other and make a horrible poisonous gas. What was again? Effects of inhalation include respiratory complications and, well, death. And poor old Gusty very nearly didn't make it. To make that much gas, you need, probably 500 milliliters of each chemical, I'd say. Certainly talks like a skilled pharmacist. Ubiquium's awfully thick and sticky, and it heats up very quickly indeed. It's also bright red and smells minty fresh. Oh, and cheap as chips. That's what they use on that's why they use it in everything. Asphyxian's more watery and it's white in color. I will do, thank you. You are clearly well informed, Miss Scone. As well I should be, dearie. After all, Infesticide Ultra is made by the company I work for. Oh, but before you get the wrong idea, they don't go around handing out free samples. As I say, it's awfully terribly dangerous. You couldn't buy it even if you wanted to. Yes, Miss Scone, some very interesting indeed. I think that tells us all we need to know. Strange. I thought she suspected Miss Scone. But something in that smile makes me wonder if she has some other angle in mind. What is it, Detective Flatfoot? Any developments to the report? Yes, sir. Turns out the sculpture's glass display case is open from the top. Huh? That's rather unusual. And the temperature inside can be adjusted, too, all the way down to 0 degrees. The Pisces kit was kept at 26 degrees. Dang near got my hand stuck to it. We're lucky you escaped alive. Anything more relevant to the case? Yeah, they found something on the underside of the top part of the Pisces case. Traces of ubiquium. Oh, now we're talking. That's odd. If there was ubiquium stuck to it, it should have stayed stuck. After all, 26 degrees, it would have been frozen solid. It would, huh? So how did things wind up as they are now? I think Kay might be able to help us figure out just that. Or at least Mr. Thief might. Heh, you guys are that desperate to get on my good side, huh? Fine. I don't know what the heck you're talking about, but take it away. Can't believe I'm taking orders from this guy. But whatever, anything for the truth.
Overruled.
Before you get too carried away, the goddess of justice has no need of your help. We will find the truth ourselves. All right, Gavel, fuck you then. What the fuck? We were going to be a one big team to figure this out, but no, you want to do this by yourself? All right. Youch, why so frosty, Judge G? Your baby prosecutor just gave us the big thumbs up. What's the issue here? Oh, wait, don't tell me the committee has some dirty little secret it doesn't want us to find out. I am not required to explain myself to you. But if you feel that you absolutely must participate in the investigation, perhaps you could prove to me that it would be worth our while to keep you around. What exactly does she have in mind here? Who triggered the release of the poison gas? If you can answer this question, I will consent to your participation in the investigation. You heard the lady smiles. Somebody opened the Pisces case and let out that gas. Considering what we've learned so far, there's only one person who could possibly be, no? Yes, the answer is indisputable. In that case, please kindly provide it now. Who released the poison gas?
Take that!
The victim, Carmelo Gusto, is the only person to have entered the autumn wing. Thus, only he could have opened the case. Correct. That appears to be the only logical answer. Very well. I'll permit your participation in this investigation to continue. However, if at any point I feel you are contributing nothing of value, you will be removed immediately. Understood? Even if Mr. Gusto did open the case, we still have no idea why. All right, Mr. Edgeworth. Tell me what you want to see. Let's use the data we've collected to recreate the scene before the poison gas went off. On it. Look at Eustace. Hey, don't scare me like that. So this is what you were talking about. You're Mr. Thief. Let's begin by examining the Pisces sculpture. There's a generous amount of ubiquium frozen to the underside of the top part of the case. Yeah, which is what it kept the lid on real tight. The actual glass lid is all cracked though, right? Somebody really went on to town on your little house there, huh, Pisces? And do we have any idea how the glass lid might have come to be so cracked? Well, it doesn't look like the outer facing side of the glass surface any damage suffered. I see. So we have a cracked piece of glass that we know was ice cold on its inner facing side. We also know that it wasn't damaged in any direct way on its outer facing surface. Thoughts? Ice cold. Makes me think of the way you glare at people, sir. Cracks. Makes me think about those deeply etched lines in your forehead. It was cracked by heat expansion. Applying heat to ice cold glass from the outside will cause it to crack. Huh. Well, I appreciate the science lesson, but why is it all heat cracked in the first place? Why, indeed. A heat-cracked glass lid lined on its underside with frozen ubiquium. You look like the cat that got cream, Miles Reno. You know what happened, don't you? I certainly do. And what's more, I know how Mr. Gusto opened the case. What? You didn't give me a chance to figure it out first. Would have been quite the wait. Well, don't keep it to yourself, Edgeworth. I want answers.
Take that!
The blowtorch shows signs of being used recently when it was found here in the autumn wing. I think it's likely it was used in the glass lid, causing it to crack. Blowtorch? Who uses a blowtorch to open a glass case? Oh, I get it. Mr. Gusto was trying to melt the frozen ubiquium so he could open the lid. Indeed. You beat me to the answer by a second, but we'll see who wins in the end. Don't try and tell us you nearly had it. You didn't have a clue. Nuh-uh. Yo, it was Edgeworth making things hard to understand. Okay, would you mind updating the recreation so that Mr. Winter can follow along too? Sure, just for him. All right, here goes. Mr. Gusto was alone in the autumn wing, and while he was in here, he used his blowtorch to melt the frozen ubiquium on the other side of the lid. Uh-huh, and? Ubiquium melted and mixed with the asphyxiant that was already present inside the glass case, thereby producing our poisonous gas. If Mr. Gusto had finally managed to open the lid, he would have released the gas and poisoned himself. He made it as far as the fountain room where he collapsed. Doo-doo-doo-doo. So he opened the case and out came the gas, huh? Seems we got there in the end. But why the heck a doodle doo did he want to open the case in the first place? I'm not sure. In fact, we don't even know what his ultimate goal was. I'm thinking he might have come here for the same reason I did. Check out the autumn wing. But the winter wing. Check out not the autumn wing, but the winter wing. You remember, right? I thought this was where the winter wing was when we first got here. Caught you out too, did it? My little Eddie Lumpkin? I was ever so confused. Well, with it being where Chillywink's room was all those years ago. There's even the same little tree in front of the blessed door. Who wouldn't be all 6s and 7s, eh? Did everyone involved with the IS-7 incident make the same mistake? I think we need to go and take another look at the winter wing. Time to see how quickly I can convince Mr. Winter, I suppose. Eureka, ladies and gentlemen, I have the answers. The answer to what exactly? The man was going to end it all. A dramatic exit stage left, sort of artsy-fartsy farewell. Have you been listening at all this whole time? At my level, I barely need to listen a word, and I still understand exactly half of what's going on. Perhaps I can explain a few of the finer details to you later, Eustace. Winter's prerogative. Winter's? Sure, thanks, Gavel. Thank you indeed. I find it's always best to leave things like child wrangling to a professional. In the meantime, don't you have something to tell Mr. Edgeworth and his friends? Oh yeah, I totally forgot. What is it now? I took the liberty of investigating our friendly pig pharmacist here. Or rather, I had one of my underlings do it for me. That's nothing to brag about, you know. Shut up! Can't you see I'm talking? Anyway, let's put a pin in my suicide theory for now, yeah? I have something more important to tell you. It was Miss Delicious who set up the poison gas trap. Eee? How could you say that? I was greatly saddened to learn of this, Miss Scone. Your profession is one dedicated to saving lives, and yet you use your expertise to try to take one. I beg your pudding. How dare you? I didn't know such thing. Perhaps you can explain, Mr. Winter? You bet I can. Get a load of this. This is Miss Delicious' pharmacist license. And it says it right here that she's authorized to handle Infesticide Ultra. The product that we have established contains asphyxiant, one of the ingredients of our poison gas. Exactly. It's almost impossible for ordinary people to get a hold of that stuff. Miss Delicious is no ordinary person. She's a card-carrying pharmacist. I didn't do it. This is all just a terrible misunderstanding.
Objection!
Objection! His objection's kind of growing on me. And that's not all. There was a bottle of Infesticide Ultra in the victim's pocket. And what do you know? It's covered in your fingerprints. Eek! We know that you, Mr. Bound, took the victim to the medical room. What better moment to slip the bottle into his pocket, No. There was only one person on the premises licensed to carry Infesticide Ultra, and that was you, Miss Scone. You act like a villain just won't grab it when needed. Furthermore, you are acquainted with Miss Bound, the owner of the gallery. I mean, you would have access to the building and ample opportunity to prepare your trap. No, dear, listen, you don't understand. That Infesticide Ultra was stolen from me. Lying will only lengthen your sentence, Miss Scone. I'm not lying. Oh, it's in my bag somewhere, I'm sure of it. What's she looking for? That's not it. That's not it. That cloth looks familiar. Ah, here we go. I knew it was here somewhere. Look! And what is this? There's something written on it, I think. April 1, complaint filed. Offense, theft, item stolen, Infesticide Ultra, 1 bottle. It's a crime report relating to a theft. A what? See, you silly billies? I told you somebody pinched it off of me. A week ago, no less. By which you mean to say that it was not in your possession at any point today? That's exactly what I meant to say. I think the bottle you found might be the one I lost. I always have some in my medicine bag, just in case, you know. And I'm supposed to keep my bag locked up tight, but, well, I'd forget in my head if it wasn't screwed on. And now, thanks to silly old me, someone's gone and mixed up a cloud of poisonous gas with the stuff. I see, but why on earth would you carry such a hazardous substance around with you? Like I said, just in case, you never know when one of them might appear. You mean the ghastly little creatures that run around people's nice, clean kitchens type of them? You just roll up a newspaper and whack. One and done? Psst. Gravel, what do I do now? Ah, of course. I think perhaps it might be wise to confirm the authenticity of the crime report just to be safe. It can't hurt to verify Miss Scone's story after all. She may be lying to us. Good idea. All right, I'm gonna go give the precinct a call. Don't go anywhere. So Miss Scone might not be guilty after all. Indeed, if she really were the one who set up the poison gas trap, then I highly doubt she would have used a method that directly implicates her. So who do you think did it, Smiles? Someone with knowledge of the victim's likely behavior, and the time and the means to prepare. 2 factors which point to one very specific person. Oh yeah? Who might that be? Don't leave us hanging, big guy. Oh well. Sorry, Judy. Who had the means to steal the Infesticide Ultra and dress one rune up to look like another? Sorry, Judy.
Take that!
Surely one Miss Bound, the proprietor of these premises, could possibly have prepared it in such a way. We'll need some solid evidence to support such a theory, nonetheless. So it was her, huh? Strange. It's like he already knew. Oh, because he knew she did it back then, too. Whew, nice shooting, Mazarino. I might have make that associate position a permanent deal. That is not what I was hoping for. I'm back with results. The police have confirmed that the theft really was reported and logged. Which means we may have been a little hasty with some of our conclusions, team. You mean that every single one of your conclusions proved to be hogwash? No. I mean, we're only just getting started. Oh, then what's our next move? Well, first we need to go and talk to Miss Bound. And then, I'll think about what to do after that. Eustace. Mr. Gusto's real destination appears to have been the Winter Wing. Perhaps it would be worth having someone investigate that room more thoroughly. Oh yeah, we should totally do that. Flatfoot, go investigate the Winter Wing. Yes, sir. Cavell, we're gonna go talk to Miss Bound. Very good, Eustace. We'll join you if you don't mind. I'm still curious about what's Eustace's game around here, bro. I mean, he just seems to be Cavell's little puppet at this point, but he's definitely has some. He's gotta have some bigger meaning. No way he's just some random prosecutor that doesn't know shit. All right, you have your orders. Go talk to Bound for me. Hey, Mr. Winter, weren't we going to talk with Miss Bound ourselves? Sure, but I thought, why not let the grunts handle the grunt work, you know? Means I could just sit back and wait for the report. A winning strategy. You spoiled little. Ugh, he's so exhausting. I need a break. Huh? There's something in the fountain. Hey, eek! Oh! It's a body! Damn! What on earth? Order in the court. Somebody called for forensics. Bad news, sirs. Real bad news. Order. I will have order, detective. The ice sculptures in the Winter Wing. They disappear again? Oh my god, they disappeared. They've all melted. Oh my god, what is going on, bro? What? Huh? Say? She ain't beating the allegations. Word. What is the meaning of this? Now we have 2 victims? Yeesh. Talk about deja vu. It's like 18 years ago, even the ice melted again. Again. This is like some weird rerun. Same people, same everything. I said it before, I'll say it again. This is no coinky dink. You're with me, right, Miles Arena? I am. And I think the answers lie in the IS-7 incident itself. In fact, I'm convinced of it. Great minds think alike. Alrighty then. Time for another trip down memory lane. More Gregory! Woo! I did a voice for Gregory, but I don't think I'll do it this time. Plus, his voice is a little higher. So if I were to do a voice, I'd have to go higher. I thought his voice would be lower, but it's not. Gregory! Gregory! Yeah! 18 years ago. It's still, oh my god, it's about to be Christmas time, bruh. I don't know how to do this. All of Mr. Frost's work destroyed. Mr. Von Karma wasn't very happy. He told us to get out in no uncertain terms. So what do we do now, Mr. E? I can't believe he just up and kicked us out. Von Karma's a total jerk. Now, Eddie, it's always the job of the police and prosecutor's office to investigate the scene. Yeah, but he didn't have to talk to us like that. Who cares if we're cops or attorneys? We should all be working together to find the truth. You can't assume that everybody's aims are the same as your own. You may wish to expose the truth, but others might prefer to accept things at face value. Which way of thinking is right will depend on the person. What if somebody innocent ends up behind bars because no one managed to uncover the truth? It could happen. We're all human, police and prosecutors included. Which is why defense attorneys exist. Our job is to help people in such situations, to be friends to the friendless. Friends to the friendless. Now, we may not be able to investigate the Winter Wing as hoped, but that doesn't mean we give up. You're right, Mr. Reed. I'm sorry. I should have thought more before I opened my big mouth. You're young, Eddie. You'll learn soon enough. I will, I promise. Judy again. Mr. Edgeworth, Mr. Fender, you look like you could use a little pick-me-up. Yo, get this dumbass tea out of here, dog. Oh, that's not tea. I'm afraid this is all I have, but please, by all means. Yeah, you are sus as hell. Whoa, you're the best, Miss Bound. Thank you. A little sugar boost might actually help, although these are a little too sweet for my liking. And a little uniquely shaped. I'm sorry if they're not your taste. No way, they're great. They're so sweet. You're very kind. Imagine me of all people, a mediocre confectioner. What? You mean you made these yourself? Yes, Samson loves chocolate, so I had to learn. Keeping him supplied with his favorite treats is just one of my many duties. Although he does spend most of his time coaching me on how to prove my technique. Mr. Tangaroa sure is a lucky guy. Getting to eat homemade sweets by the one and only Judy Bound whenever he wants sounds amazing. I'm sorry, did you say something? No, nothing at all. Dear sweet Eddie, you really still do have a lot to learn. It seems you're quite committed to the work you do for Mr. Tangaroa, Miss Bound. Of course. Well, why would I have to stay here otherwise? What do you mean by that? I was abandoned as a baby, and Mr. Tangaroa took me in. That's right. One snowy Christmas Eve many years ago, he found me on the steps of this very mansion. He saved my life and became the father I never had. I can never repay him. So my work for him is the least I could do, and I'll be here for him as long as he needs me. That's the most beautiful thing I've ever heard. Must be getting old. I'm welling up a little myself. Oh, Gregory. And to think today is Christmas Eve. I can't even give him his present in person. I'd do anything to save him, anything. You're such a liar. You're such a liar. I don't believe you. I don't believe you. Please, if there's something I can do to help, just say it. We're very grateful, Miss Bound. Perhaps you could help us by answering a question. Did you know the victim? Not very well, I'm afraid. Oh, but if you wanted to see some of his work, I have a picture of the sculptures he made for the final. Oh, they look a little same, don't you think? My, they're stunning. Aren't they? I think they're masterpieces. Who would have thought you could make such intricate statues out of flavored ice? Samson adored them too. Oh, hey, that's Terrace and Gemini, right? I didn't know you were keen on constellations of the zodiac, Eddie. Oh, I love it. The stories that those stars can tell. Take Gemini, for example. See the lyre? That's what the harp is called. And the arrow with the... Hold up. The lyre doesn't have any strings. Huh? Did Mr. Frost forget to add them, maybe? That doesn't sound like something he'd forget to do. Wait, really? But I thought you just said you didn't know him very well. Oh, well, he didn't seem like the type. Good job, Eddie. It seems she's got something to hide, too. You took this photograph yourself, Miss Bound? Yes, I use this instant camera here. It develops the pictures as soon as you take them. It's so useful. Ooh, I'd love to see it in action. Why don't I take your picture? Yes, come on, Mr. Reed, let's get a shot of the both of us. Well, all right then. It'd be a shame to waste a good hair day. Ready, say cheese. Come on, let me see the picture. Let me see the picture! There, all done. And the picture's yours to keep, Mr. Fender. Oh my gosh, thank you so much. That's such a cool camera. Well, it's the only one we've got, so we use it for all the picture-taking needs. It's very convenient, but the lack of negatives is something of a shame. So there aren't any negatives for us to reference, huh? I assume Mr. Tangaroa used the same camera during the contest? Yes, you assume correctly. He used it for some work-in-progress pictures of his seascape, and later to take some photos of the other contestants' works. But didn't you take pictures of the body when you discovered it? And didn't you discover the body while the judging was still underway? Oh yes, Samson wanted pictures of all the entrance completed rooms, but the film ran out just as he finished photographing Mr. Gusto's work. So he asked me to go put in a new cartridge. He seemed to think there should have been more shots left than there were. In other words, the film ran out sooner than expected? Yes, the number of shots he took didn't line up with the number of shots remaining. But he thought maybe he just lost track somewhere along the way. But had he really, though? I went to our living area to change the film and was passing through the fountain room on my way back, when I heard the sound of something break and collapse in Samson's room. Samson, are you in here? Mr. Frost's body was just laying there. That was a total shock. It was all too much. But I remember, I called the police, and then I went to tell everybody else. And the camera, been with me ever since. I see. I'd be grateful if you could lend us the camera in this picture, Miss Bound. Of course. Here you go. Thank you. Can I see the picture? I want to see the picture! No! Detective Bad, Miss Scone, are they done investigating? They're done with me, that's for certain. The big meanie told me to clear off. Honestly, the mannequins will be the end of me, the cheek of him. Guess he got tired of people cluttering up his crime scene. Did he run off? Did he run you off too, Detective Bad? Yeah, Von Karma seems to think I'm a nuisance. Can't do things his way with me around. Why would Mr. Von Karma go so far to exclude his own lead detective? Still, got a pretty good look at the scene. As for Gusto, he's enjoying a little nice chat right now in Frost's room. What about? About the fact that Miss Bound said she saw him going in there during the contest. Mr. Gusto went into Mr. Frost's room? That's right. And I have to say, he looked very much like he didn't want to be seen. I don't know what he could have been up to. Well, he's candidate number 1 at the moment. As the guy who melted Frost's work. Is that really why Mr. Gusto went into Mr. Frost's room? Wait, what? Why would you just give it to us? I gotta spell it out for you, kid? I'm offering to help you guys. I want the truth about this case to come out. Detective? Really, Detective Bad? Mr. Von Karma won't be happy about this. Yeah, well, I'm not Von Karma's stooge. If he's gonna stonewall my investigation, then I'm not gonna play by the book either. Can't let some pesky rules keep me from finding the truth. Now, can I, Mr. Edgeworth? Aw, yes. Indeed. Thank you, Detective Bad. Wow, I can't believe you won him over, Mr. E. Well, I haven't the foggiest what you're all going on about, but here's to new friends, eh? Definitely nice to have the good detective on our side, that's for sure. All right, let's take a look at that photograph. Here. This is what Frost's room looks like right now. Yikes, there's nothing left of his flavored ice sculptures but puddles. The floor appears to be completely covered in a pale blue liquid. I should compare this with the photo I just borrowed from Miss Bound. I assume that the unplugged power cord has something to do with all this. And once that was out of the socket, the display case lost power, and up the temperature went. Looks like they were all connected to the same power strip. Do you have any idea when it was unplugged? Nope. Still working on that. Those sculptures were beautiful. What a waste. Say that again. I should have taken a few more bites out of them when I had the chance. So they tasted good? Did they ever? I never tried ices so scrumptious in my life. Really? Man, I wish I could have had a bite. Well, scrumptious except for the salty bit, of course. That was unbearable. The salty bit? It's in the other photo you got there. This bit, the harpy thing. Gemini's liar. Wait, that's why I had no strings? Because you ate them? I didn't eat that. I didn't eat that much, you cheeky little devil. I told you it was all horrible and salty. How'd you even get in there? It's interesting that the only particular part of this one particular sculpture tasted different from the rest. Could somebody other than Miss Scone really be responsible for eating the rest of the strings? Did you notice anything else, Miss Scone? Come to think of it, I did. There was a funny little mark on Chili Wing's work. It was 2 little letters. Let me see if I can draw it for you. There we go. Yes, it just looked just like that. Ooh, PH comes back. It's almost like a signature or something. Wait. I just knew Mr. Frost wouldn't have made that harp without strings. He's not the type to skip an important detail like that. I hope you don't mind me asking, Miss Bound. Are you certain you didn't know Mr. Frost particularly well? What? No, I barely knew him, I swear. Are you dancing and sweating at the same time? Is that so? You certainly seem to have some strong opinions about his attitude toward his work. No, the sculptures were so carefully made, I didn't think he missed something so important. I'm sorry, but I don't believe you. You have a more personal connection to his work than that. What makes you say that? I have an item of evidence that appears to have been one of Mr. Frost's possessions. It shares a key feature with another piece of evidence. Well, I don't know. I won't know what you're talking about if you don't share. It's one of these two pieces of evidence of yours. Which two items point to Mr. Frost?
Take that! Take that!
There we go. Miss Skull found these two letters carved into Mr. Frost's ice sculptures. I think they were a signature of sorts. After all, it's not unusual for the artist to initial their work. I guess not. That's right, dear. It's just like you said. Chiliwing's statue had the letters PH carved in them, plain as day. PH? Shouldn't it be AF? You think so, but take a look at this. It's a seal we found at the crime scene. It seems reasonable to assume that it fell from Mr. Frost's pocket. When pressed into the surface of an item, it would leave behind the letters PH. The same pottery mark we see imprinted on the bottom of the items in the tea set. The same pottery mark. I already have established that the tea set is the work of the sculptor Paul Halik. From that, we can assume that these same letters would mark any item out as a piece of his work. A fact of which you are well aware of, correct, Miss Bound? Well, yes, I know that he always marks his work with his initials like that. He never revealed his true identity in public, so it's the only way to know his works are truly his. You mean Paul Halik was... That's right, Detective. Artie Frost had another identity. He was no ordinary confectioner, at least as far as Miss Bound was concerned. For you see, Mr. Frost was in fact a famed sculptor. Mr. Frost was in fact none other than the famed sculptor Paul Halik. What? Mr. Frost and Paul Halik were the same person? But it's not like the mark's hard to copy, though. Anyone who's seen it could fake being him without it. With it. Not exactly conclusive proof that Frost was who you say he was. It was proof enough for Miss Bound. What matters that she believed it. His true identity will have to be investigated by the good people of the precinct. All right. I'll have the boys look into it. I should have known I couldn't hide it from you, Mr. Edgeworth. So you admit it. You were aware of who Mr. Frost really was? I was. When I discovered his body, I saw the seal you found. Don't ask me how, I just knew it straight away that it was my dear Paul Halik. Imagine, his entries at a confectionery contest were his final legacy. A great man like that. And be honest, did you enter Mr. Frost's room at any point? What? Why are you asking me that? The photograph of Mr. Frost's room. I'd like to know when it was taken. Oh, it must have gotten mixed up with the ones Samson took during the judging.
Objection!
I'm afraid I find that rather hard to believe. God, his objection is so high-pitched for, like, his looks, you would think he had a lower voice. You said yourself that the camera ran out of film during the judging. And that you've had the charge of camera since before Mr. Tongue Robot had the chance to visit Mr. Frost's room. That's how you were able to take that picture when you discovered Mr. Frost's body. I suppose so. This suggests that you took only 2 pictures with the new film, one of Mr. Frost's body and one of his room. But I have a piece of evidence that says otherwise. You do? The evidence contradicts the assumptions that Miss Bound only took 2 pictures.
Take that!
The camera? You gave the picture of the body to the police and the picture of Mr. Frost's room to me. Oh, and you gave us that picture you took of me and Mr. Edgeworth, too. 3 photographs in total, and yet the film cartridge in Canada only has 3 exposures remaining. Out of a total 20. You took more pictures. I want to know what of. I'll need to see all the photos you took. Perhaps then we'll finally learn what you were really up to. I'm so sorry. I confess, I've been lying to you. Ha. These are all shots of Frost's room. I'm so sorry. Looks like she took pictures of his work from every possible angle. And when they were taken, the ice still hadn't melted yet. Wait, don't tell me. It was you? It was. At least, I'm pretty sure it was. You are? What? Well, you see, I'm a huge fan of Mr. Halik's work, as you know. I was petrified that they might be ruined, that with the investigation that was going on and everything. So I thought I should take at least capture the sculptures on film for posterity. And how'd that make them melt? I think perhaps I was so intent on getting the perfect photographs that I might have tripped over the power cord without noticing. My mistake? Are you sure? I didn't notice it at the time, but, well, how could I have been so careless as to cause loss of his final masterpieces? Wow, that's the biggest lie I've ever heard, bro. No way. You trip over a power cord and not realize it? I was about to say, that seems a little convenient to me. I'm not sure I believe it. I don't either, Gregory. I don't either. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to cause any trouble. Please don't worry about it. The important thing is that you told us the truth. What he said. No hard feelings, Miss Bound. Thank you. Mr. Edgeworth. Picture's yours. Hope it helps. One from Bound and one from Detective Bad. Von Karma's bum ass. Are you infernal nuisances still here? You don't know when to give up. Linger for as long as you like. The answer is still the same. You are not part of this investigation. Whether we're a part of it or not, we'll uncover the truth nonetheless. It's easy you don't know when to shut up either. I commend you on your stubbornness. Mr. Von Karma, I'm afraid I'm the one responsible for Mr. Frost's work melting. What? What is the meaning of this? I'm sorry. And to you too, Mr. Gusto. No concern of mine. Oh shit. I didn't do anything, and Mr. Von Karma agrees. Nothing at all, Mr. Gusto? You went into Mr. Frost's room, didn't you? Perhaps you can tell us why. Sure, I was... Objection! Silence. You are not to give the attorney even the tiniest shred of information. Duty bound, you're coming with me. I have reason to believe that you are an accomplice of the accused, Samson Tangaroa. No, I'll be interrogating you personally, so you had better get your story in order. I understand. Wait, please. I'm not done questioning her myself. Do you think I care because... Wow. What a dickhead. Bad, Gusto, and you, Scone. I have questions for all of you. I expect answers. Fine by me. Ooh, could at least ask nicely, mannequins. Damn, everybody. So it's just me and Fender. He took literally everyone with him. Indeed. Well, I suppose that means there's little point in us hanging around either. Perhaps it's time we get going anyway. It's rather late. I hope the snow is let up. You're right. Home time. Guess my stomach's in agreement too. All right, let's go grab a burger before my own stomach starts grumbling too. Sounds good to me. Let's eat up and rest up. We'll need to be fine fit for tomorrow. We will indeed. And our first port of call will be Mr. Tangaroa. It's Christmas. It's not almost Christmas. It's Christmas. Hey, it's Miss Mount. Oh, Mr. Fender. Mr. Edgeworth? I'm so sorry about what happened yesterday. She looks rather tired. Has Miss Von Karma finished interrogating you? Yes, though he really only seemed interested in how I melted those sculptures. And here you are to see Mr. Tangaroa too? Yes, I'm terribly worried about him. Bad? What are you doing? Detective Bad? What are you doing back there? Oh, just happened to be here. I'll be heading back to the scene soon. Not sure how anyone just happens to be at a detention center, but okay. What the fuck? What the fuck? What happened to his hair? What the fuck? What the what happened? Good morning. Mr. Tongarella, what happened to you? Oh no. Samson, what did they do to you? They didn't seem to want to let me sleep. I had no idea interrogation could be so involved. Sorry if I seem distracted. I think I'm a little tired. They're not letting you sleep? That's not police work, that's torture. What's going on here, Detective Bad? I'm not the one doing the interviewing. It's the guy they put on the case before me. I like Von Karma's methods about as much as you do, which is why I'm doing what I can to help. It was Detective Bad who got me out of there. I'd still be in that interrogation room right now if it weren't for him. Detective Bad really is trying to look out for Mr. Tongarella in his own way, it seems. What the fuck happened? Why's your hair white? Alright, Eddie. Let's share yesterday's findings with Mr. Tongarella. You got it, Mr. E. My notepad is at the ready. Mr. Tongarella, we found out quite a bit if you'd like to hear it. Of course, thank you. Wow, wow, this is hard to look at. Are you alright, Mr. Tongarella? You seem kinda spaced out. I'm fine, I think my blood sugar might be running a little low. Samson. Do we have anything that might give him a little energy boost? Take this, man. You need it. Huh? Is that chocolate for me? Oh, those are the chocolates I wish I could just give them to you, Mr. Tongarella. But the rules here don't exactly allow me to do so. Oh, that's a shame. But rules are rules, I suppose. There must be some way we can hand them to him. I hope Detective Bad is nothing the meaningful looks in his direction. Is noting the meaningful looks in his direction. Let me take a look at them. If they seem legit, I might consider passing them on to the suspect. Thank you, Detective Bad. My hero. I'm touched. Thank you, Detective. Yeah, whatever. Just sit tight. Here. You don't know how much this means to me. Yeah, keep it down, will ya? For both of our sakes. Of course, Detective. I wouldn't wish to put your livelihood at risk. Now to sample these treats. Detective, I apologize for putting you in a tight spot. I didn't do it for you. It was my call. Guess you're not such a bad guy after all. Oh, the sweetness. I feel like a man reborn. Were they your handiwork, Judy? Yes. How were they? Don't start going out and singing, bro. I am not singing. Y'all can sing this in your own time if you want. God, it looks so weird that his hair's white. Delicious. Thanks, Tongarella. They're not exactly beautiful, but they're sweet and oh so flavorful. Thank you, Judy. I'm so glad you like them. And I'm glad you're back to your old self. My apologies, friends. The food they serve here is just so flavorless. Between that and the lack of sleep, I was about ready to collapse from sheer despair. Wow, is food here really all that bad? Just the usual, french fries, ham sandwich, stuff like that. Yes, and yeah, I couldn't taste a thing. Huh. Anyway, I'm heading back to the scene. Before you go, Detective, do you have any new information to share? Oh yeah, you were right about the victim's identity. Frost worked as a sculptor in France, where he was known as Paul Halik. Artie Frost was Paul Halik? I never would have imagined. Poor Mr. Halik. So the famous French sculptor was a Frenchman after all, huh? How's that paper, Fender? Zal would certainly explain why Mr. Halik was such a recluse who refused to show his face in public. He was busy working on his greatest masterpiece, apparently, a bunch of Zodiac statues. Guess he'll never finish them now. He never finished his greatest masterpiece? Nah, seems he was making the statues for each season. But he never got around to the winter constellations. The winter constellations? You mean Taurus and Gemini? So the two he made out of the ice would have completed the set. Yeah, and now they're nothing but puddles. What a bummer. I'm so sorry. Oh, no, Miss Brown. I wasn't blaming you. One last thing. Seems he had himself a bit of a spending habit when it came to his work. Every statue cost him millions to make, which means he was always strapped for cash. We're checking to see if there's any chance someone called in a debt. I guess not even famous artists are safe from money problems. Do you have any idea why he entered the confectionery contest? None. Can't even tell his family. I see. Alright, I really gotta get going. I'll go fetch another guard. But I can't be hanging around here any longer. Understood, Detective. We'll see you again shortly. He's a good man. He certainly is. An uncompromising one. Someone who could be trusted to stand up for what he believes in. And to scare the pants off anybody new he meets. Now, you were going to tell me about what you learned yesterday? Of course. I'm going to give you a full report. Thank you for that, and allow me to apologize on Judy's behalf. I'm so sorry. It's fine, Mr. Tangaroa. As I told her yesterday, the important thing is that we learn the truth in the end. Now, would you mind if I ask you a question or two? By all means, I'll gladly share all that I can. What can you tell me about the contestants who took part in the final round of the contest? Let's see. There was Miss Scone. I loved her design concept. Unfortunately, her entry was in violation of the rules, and so I had to disqualify her. Mr. Gusto's creation were the perfect balance of flavor and design, at least up through the semi-final. But disappointingly, his entry to the final was subpar on both counts. And there was actually something a little unusual about his entry for the semi-finals as well. Which was... It tasted identical to Mr. Frost's. It may have looked different, but I could have sworn I was eating the same thing. Huh? What exactly did his work look like? Oh, there should be a photograph back in my mansion. I'll show it to you later, Mr. Edgeworth. Much appreciated, Miss Bound. But Mr. Frost sent you for the finals. That was truly sublime. So you were able to finish judging it? Even though his body had been discovered in the meantime? Yes, I wasn't aware of what had happened until after I completed my assessment. Mr. Frost was in his room when I visited, so I took the liberty of sampling it a bit. Part of the liar, I believe. I never tasted anything like it. It was like a dream. It was so moved that I burst into song. I'm sorry, but are you saying the liar tasted good? I'd like to hear more about that if you don't mind. You're quite sure it was the liar you tasted when you sampled Mr. Frost's work? I'm certain of it. It was part of the Gemini sculpture, which was the only sculpture in that display case. Mr. Tangaroa, would you mind taking a look at this photograph for me? So the part you tried was the liar? The one shown here without any strings? Oh, there were strings originally. That was the part I ate. So the strings were missing because Mr. Tangaroa ate them all? And he enjoyed them? Mrs. Scone told us she ate a part of the liar as well. But she said it was far too salty for her to finish. Then it's true. The truth is, I've suspected for a while that there might be something wrong with my sense of taste. Something wrong? How so exactly? There's a taste disorder characterized by an inability to detect salty flavors. And I suspect I've been suffering from it. I eat so many sweet foods on a daily basis that it took a while for me to even notice. But there's no denying it now. That would explain why the food here seemed so bland to him. What? But your taste buds are your livelihood. Even if there were some long-term treatment options, I highly doubt a total cure for your condition exists. Nevertheless, you should put in a request to the police for a proper evaluation. Oh, that won't be necessary. I have a recipe for a cure back in my mansion. You do? I do. You can take a look at it for yourself if you like. Samson, we can't show that recipe to just anybody. Judy, Mr. Edgeworth is hardly just anybody. He's my attorney, and I have no secrets from him. Yes, you're right, of course. I that is what you wish. You, Judy, are so sus. You're so sus. What on earth is this secret recipe for a miracle cure they've been hiding? Well, I suppose you should be getting back. All right, we'll be right behind you. Judy? Yes, Samson? There's more to life than just me. Please, Judy, think about the life you want to live. Because I won't always be around. Don't say that. Without you, I don't have a life to live. So I'll be waiting right there at the mansion until you come home. Now, if you'll excuse me. Wait, Miss Bound! Judy. I'll take some fries. Whoa, she seemed really upset. I thought I saw a tear in her eyes. Why'd you even say all that to her? Because I worry about her. She can't keep putting my needs ahead of her own. What do you mean? The Halik collection, the candy making. It's all because she thinks these things will make me happy. She never thinks about what she wants, what she likes. I just want her to be her own person and choose her own destiny. The last thing I want for her is to miss out on all that life has to offer because of me. I guess that makes sense. He really does see her as his own child. What parent wouldn't want their child to walk their own path? And what parent wouldn't do everything they could to protect them? Greg, stop, bro. All this inner monologue of him and Edgeworth, bro, is gonna make me so sad. I know exactly how he feels in this moment. Yo, Greg, stop, bro. I think I've asked you everything I can for now, Mr. Tangaroa. We should be getting back to the scene of the crime. Oh, you're leaving? I see. I suppose I'll be going back to the interrogation room for another session. Yes. We'll have to do something about that. You'll speak to the police for me? That too. But I'll be putting something else in place as well. An ace up our sleeve for when the time comes. Hey, look forward to learning more. I'm counting on you, Mr. Edgeworth. We'll be back to brief you, Mr. Tangaroa, every day. And Judy, too. Thank you, Eddie. I'll look forward to it. Mr. Tangaroa, your interrogator will do everything in his power to extract a confession from you. I hate to see an innocent man suffer like this. But please, you have to do everything you can to hold out. If you can, Mr. Von Karma will use that confession against you for as long as this case lasts. And it will make it that much harder for me to save you. I understand, and I'll try. I won't give up until you're out of there, Mr. Tangaroa. You have my word on that. It is. I don't complain. Detective Bad, thank you again for what you did earlier. Yeah, thanks a ton. Aw, he did the same thing. What are you talking about? There's no need to be shy about it. Never mind that now. I'm guessing you two are back here, looking to investigate some more? We are indeed. We'll need something solid if we're going to save Mr. Tangaroa. Well, I hate to break it to you, but apart from this room, the whole place is on lockdown. What? But we need to see the other rooms. This is Mr. Verkarma's doing, I presume? Who else? Haven't seen the autopsy report yet either. This guy's probably got a hand in that, too. Don't expect to speak with anybody, except us cops and Miss Bound. Everybody else is gone. I doubt Von Karma will be handing out phone numbers. Is this all just a game to him? Why did he have to go so far? So what's your plan of action, Detective? Same as before. Do what I can to help you uncover the truth, like I promised. You have my gratitude. Just you wait, Mr. Von Karma. We're gonna beat you in your bag of dirty tricks. Detective, may we conduct a brief investigation of the area? Sure. But like I said, everywhere else is off bounds. You probably won't be seeing those rooms again. That's fine. As long as there's at least some way of continuing our investigation, we'll make do. Ah, that really did. That hurt me, Doug. Excuse me, may I ask what you're investigating? Sir, I'm analyzing the fountain water to see what might be in it, sir. And? What'd you find? Chocolate. And what makes it look like some kind of flavoring and coloring is used in frozen desserts, sir? The composition of the chocolate seems to be the same as the Mr. Tangaroa's work. And the flavors and colorings match the profile of those used in Mr. Froth's ice sculptures. little rivers flow from all 4 artists' rooms right here to this fountain. Guess that's how the stuff made from the melted sculptures wound up in there. That's not all, sir. We also found blood. What? Why is there blood in the water? Think back to our investigation of the murder scene, detective. Take another look at the scene in front of us. Detective? Oh, never mind. You've already seen this. The victim's blood was mysteriously absent, as with the part of the chocolate chest that had pool on. I believe that the blood probably belonged to...
Take that!
The victim, huh? I'll have the guy compare it with the blood on the murder weapon. What the fuck? It's a match. The blood in the fountain is Frost. Why would someone want to send the victim's blood downstream and into the fountain like this? Moment of your time, Eddie. Sure thing, Mr. E. What's up? Oh, they even got his theme here. Do you have any thoughts on the case? Oh, you bet I do. Mr. Tangaroa's amazing display behind being used to store the body. Miss Scullen's beautiful dreamscape being used to store the murder weapon. We're really seeing some beautiful things being used for ugly purposes on this case, huh? I suppose we are. To make things worse, Miss Bound seems super down. When I asked if you had any thoughts on the case, I was thinking more about useful insights. Oh, sorry, Mr. E. Did I do something wrong? I worry about you sometimes, Eddie. How are you liking your first crime scene investigation, Eddie? Oh, it's great. I've been taking notes about everything, and I'm learning so much. I'm so happy you let me tag along, Mr. Edgeworth. So you want to be an attorney, huh? You bet I do. I'd give anything to be a hero of justice, to help the helpless and fight for what's right. The first time I saw Mr. E do his thing in court, I knew I found my calling. You know, cops look out for people too. Sure, but I want to be an attorney. Well, good luck to you. I get the feeling Detective Bad might be pinning for an apprentice of his own. You got gumshoe, you'll be fine. Alright, Detective. What is it? Any thoughts on the case, Detective? Officially, as a cop, my thoughts are Von Karma's right about everything. But, as myself, I'm not happy. You need to investigate more, here and elsewhere. I'll put a word in for you, with forensics. Ask the guy whatever you want. Much appreciated. I am in your debt, Detective Bad. I didn't do it for you. I did it for the investigation. Miss Bound, we're here to continue our investigation. Oh, Mr. Edgeworth, I'm so sorry about earlier. She's still looking kind of down in the dumps, Mr. E. She must have been greatly taken aback by what Mr. Tangaroa had to say. I found the photograph of the semi-final entries for you. Here, it's all yours. Ooh. Wow, Miss Scullen sure knows how to make a cute cake. Wow, those look cool, actually. Are you sure they made them? Yes, Samson loved her design for that one. He loved the designs and flavors of Mr. Gusto and Mr. Frost entries, too. The only problem was, as Samson mentioned earlier, they tasted exactly the same. However, their respective entries for the final tasted nothing like, it seems. Was there anything else noted that changed between the semifinal and the final? Nothing major, but I guess there was one thing. Mr. Gusto's son was always here with him throughout the contest, but he was nowhere to be seen during the final. Why would his son come and hang out at a contest venue of all places? You sure you're happy for us to keep hold of these? Of course. I hope it helps with your investigation. Oh, I also have the book containing the recipe for the cure Samson mentioned. We've seen this book before. It was in the chocolate frame in Tangaroa's room. That's right. Put it on display there so that everybody could see the grand prize. What? The cure is in the ultimate cookbook. So it's not a book of dessert recipes, I take it? Oh no, we told the contestants, of course. But I guess nobody told you yet. So the contestants all knew what the ultimate cookbook was this whole time. Huh. Interesting. I'd like to hear more about the cookbook if you don't mind, Miss Bound. So if I understand correctly, the ultimate cookbook is actually a collection of recipes for different medicines? Exactly, or rather totally new medications that haven't been made into the market yet, to be precise. To the right buyer, a pharmaceutical company, for example, it would be worth a fortune. But why make that the grand prize at a confectionery contest? Mr. Tangaroa is the sole heir to the Tangaroa family fortune. Perhaps you've heard of the Tangaroa group? The Tangaroa group? Yeah, I think I heard of them somewhere before. It's a major pharmaceutical corporation. It sells all kinds of pills and poisons. Oh yeah, that new Cold Killer Pro has been making some real waves since it went on sale. Cold Killer, oh my god, that's what Phoenix used. I always reach for a Cold Killer when I'm feeling under the weather. Which is never, as far as I see. I'd like to hear more about the Tangaroa group if you don't mind. So did Mr. Tangaroa not want to take over his parents and go into the family business? No. He preferred the idea of making people's lives better through the power of confectionery. And his parents supported him in his quest to become the best in the world. Then when they passed away, he inherited the cookbook. Why would he make such a valuable heirloom a mere contest prize? He's been hounded by so many people looking to make that book their own. He was so tired of it. But it would have been an insult to his parents' memory simply to give it away. So he decided to find somebody he felt was worthy of it. I'll bet the board of directors loved that. Handing over the fruits of all their expensive research to someone else. They hated the idea, of course. Which is why Delica entered the contest. The Tangaroa group wanted her to win the book back for them. So you knew she was a pharmacist all along? Yes, and not only that, I told her how to appeal Samson's taste. I tried to help her win. But why? I wanted to protect Samson by protecting the Tangaroa group. If that cookbook fell into another company's hands, the board would never forgive him. So I wanted to find a way to keep it with the company, but in a way that Samson couldn't object to. So that's how Miss Scone managed to make it so far in a contest she had no business taking part in. But Miss Scone wasn't the only one pretending, was she? Mr. Frost wasn't really a confectioner either. And he has still made it all the way to the final, just like she did. Not bad. Yes, it's unbelievable, isn't it? Such a talented sculptor and a gifted crafter of desserts, too. Gifted indeed, judging by the standard of his work of the final. But how did one man produce pieces of that size quality in such a short period of time? I'm not sure I have much more to tell you. Or if there's anything I can help you with, I'd be happy to, of course. She's certainly very keen to ensure that she does all she can for Mr. Tangaroa. I could certainly use a cup of the tea you made us yesterday if you wouldn't mind. I think that might help move the investigation along nicely. Oh, I'll have some too! Your tea is to die for, Miss Bound. Well, how could I possibly refuse? I'll bring it right out. You know, I think that cheered her up a little. You've learned a little more about the contest participants. But there's still one question involving Mr. Gusto for which we never got an answer.
Objection!
Objection! What was he doing in Mr. Frost's room? That's not all. I also have questions about the work he submitted for the semifinals. The confectioner who admits to lack of design says it a sculpture with it in spades. Mr. Gusto could not have hoped to win such a high-level contest by himself. Which is why I'm beginning to wonder if there was some sort of connection between him and Mr. Frost. Detective? I need to ask Mr. Gusto a few more questions. His story still doesn't quite add up for me. Me neither. We need to figure out how to get in touch with him. Oh, do you now? You're not scary, Von Karma. Good luck with that, because I have no intention of allowing it. Mr. Von Karma? I'm already in the midst of my own investigation in Augusta, so there is no need for the likes of you to pester him with the same questions again. Tisk, tisk, tisk. I will, however, be happy to answer any questions you might have. He seems dead set on preventing me from talking to Mr. Gusto, in which case... Fine, then allow me to take you up on your offer. Very well. What is it? I'd like you to tell me about the connection between Mr. Gusto and Mr. Frost. The connection between Gusto and Frost? It was a simple matter of coincidence. They both happened to be taking part in the same contest. Wow. And that's all? That's all I have to say to you. What? But that doesn't help at all. We'll have to confront him with evidence if we want to draw the truth out of him. And it's imperative that we do. He's clearly hiding something.
Objection!
Wonder if you could look at the two confections in the foreground for me, Mr. Von Karma. They were made for the contest's semifinals. Both are quite exquisitely crafted, wouldn't you agree? Get to the point. As the nameplate suggests, these were Mr. Gusto and Mr. Frost's entries. Mr. Gusto told us that confectionery design was far from his strong suit. And yet his work in this picture is just as good as Mr. Frost's, exactly as good as fact. We've learned from another witness that their two entries also tasted exactly the same.
Objection!
What are you suggesting? Oh yeah. I'm suggesting that they were helping one another out. Let's take a closer look, shall we? While at first glance, the two may appear to be superficially different, it soon became apparent that there are significant similarities on how they were put together. They are made of the same ingredients, taste the same, and share a similar design aesthetic. This picture is proof positive that these two were working together. If you figured that much out, I suppose there's little point in denying it. Mr. Von Karma knew all along that they were cooperating? But I'll warn you, none of what you're about to hear will be to your advantage. Let me confirm what you seem so desperate to prove. Gusto and Frost were indeed working together. Gusto spelled out the details of his relationship to Frost during his questioning last night. Boom. It seems they were helping one another right up until the day before the final. So, you knew that the two were cooperating. Mr. Von Karma, why are you trying to bury the truth?
Objection!
Please, enough with the petty slander. I'm really wanting to avoid you poking your nose around before I can provide proper context in court. It simply slipped my mind to explain that to you. Doesn't explain why he's being so slippery with the facts, though. I need to figure out what it is he's hiding. I can't let things end like this.
Hold it!
But why were they cooperating? Gusto's sense of design is subpar. Frost was an amateur confectioner at best. Neither of them stood a chance of making it through the contest alone. I don't know why I did his voice for him. So, what was their endgame? Why cooperate only until the day before the finals? Gusto claims to have ended the scheme. Allegedly, he wanted to win the final on his own merits. His one and only goal really was to be crowned the world's best confectioner. And his pride would not allow him to do so with the help of another. Cheaters can only win hollow victories, I guess. I was under the impression that the collaboration had only lasted through the semifinals. But I'm starting to think it might have lasted up until through the final itself. Mr. Von Karma, I'd like to ask you some more about how long they worked together for, if you don't mind.
Hold it!
Hold it! Before you ask, I'm not objecting to your characterization of Mr. Gusto's design sense. Yeah, he made it himself. He isn't all that great. He made what he alleged to be a likeness of me. Just thinking of the abomination he came out with turns my stomach. Yeah, I kind of like the guy's work. An artistically rich amateur and artistically impoverished professional. In a way, it was inevitable that they would wind up working together.
Objection!
There we go. Yeah, tie up that tie. They weren't working together during the finals? I find that a little hard to believe. Miss Scone is on record as having described Mr. Frost's creations as scrumptious. And while he was certainly skilled, I doubt even he could have become a world-class confectioner overnight. It seems far more likely to me that he and Mr. Gusto were still cooperating during the finals.
Objection!
How many times must I explain this to you? Assertions require proof, and one person's entirely subjective statement is not proof of anything. Besides, even amateurs can occasionally make delicious food. Perhaps Frost was simply lucky. My wife, for example. is an amateur whose cooking puts first-class chefs to shame. You have a wife? How is that not an entirely subjective statement? Furthermore, you are ignoring another crucial part of the pharmacist's testimony. Namely that she has also described some of Frost's work as having been unbearably salty. In other words, your evidence actually shows that the Frost failed to produce the perfect confectionery. Tisk, tisk, tisk. No more objections, I take it. There must be some way I can prove that Gusto and Frost were still collaborating. Mr. E? There's something that's been out of my mind. Yes? What is it, Eddie? Mr. Frost's entry for the finals. Wouldn't that taken a while to make? I would imagine so. Make it flavored water, freezing it all, and then carving 2 whole sculptures? Could he really have done all that and helped Mr. Gusto with his work? If it was me, I'd have barely gone as far as sending the flavored water up the freeze part. I just can't see how Mr. Frost could have pulled it off. Perhaps there's some lawyerly instinct in you after all, Eddie. Your pondering certainly points to another possibility. Eddie's right. Mr. Frost would have needed to freeze his own large blocks of flavored ice to create his art. And there wouldn't have been time to do that during the contest itself. So what must Mr. Frost have done in order to finish his flavory ice entry within the time limit? He must have made the flavored ice the day before. Then all he would have to do is sculpt it. What are you muttering about now? Oh, I'm sorry. I just realized something, that's all. I realized that you're correct. What? Mr. E? I hope you know what you're doing. Oh, accepting defeat at last, are we? The only thing I'm accepting is that perhaps one of the things you said was true. They were helping one another right up until the day before the final. Just as you said, the day before the final really did mark the end of their collaboration. Oh shit! Get him, Greg! Mr. Frost's entry was carved entirely from blocks of flavored ice. Ice which would have needed at least a day to freeze. Whose flavor would therefore have already been prepared by Mr. Gusto. Yes, which lines up perfectly with what Gusto told me, that he helped Frost until the day before the final. In that case, why didn't Mr. Frost reciprocate and help Mr. Gusto in return?
Objection!
I can hardly be expected to read the minds of the dead.
Objection!
Perhaps not, but I imagine Mr. Gusto could tell us, so why don't you let us speak with him? Or do you still insist your interrogation was as thorough as you claim? How dare you call my methods into question? That's not my intention. I just don't understand why you would obstruct a perfectly valid line of inquiry. Give me one good reason as to why you're keeping Mr. Gusto from me. Get him, Greg! One good reason? Certain. The how and why of Mr. Frost and Gusto's collaboration have absolutely no bearing on this case.
Objection!
How can you possibly say that with any certainty? And if their relationship had broken down for some reason, that could very well have been the motive behind this murder.
Objection!
Could it indeed? Then why did Gusto himself tell me all about it? Why did the man you seem so keen on accusing share the details of his collaboration with the prosecution? Please tell me you have some proof to back up your preposterous suspicions this time. Mr. Gusto only acted suspiciously one time that we know of. I imagine Mr. Von Karma is aware of exactly what that suspicion action was. Which means, this is probably a trap. Well, cat got your tongue? And even if this is a trap, I can't back down now. Mr. Gusto stuck into Mr. Frost's room, and we still don't know why. The fact alone is enough to suspect him. Tisk, tisk, tisk. If that's your only concern, then allow me to clear it up for you. I knew it. It was a trap. I'll savor this for the trial, but consider it a taste of things to come. Plus, I hate for the proceedings to drag on because of your needless interjections. Here, take a look at this. Aww. That's Gusto and Frost and their sons. Aww. Family photo. Gusto snuck into Frost's room in order to retrieve this photograph. But why? It seems their sons attended the same elementary school. Gusto was concerned of the fact that Mr. Frost and his acquaintance might place him under undue suspicion. A concern that you have just proved was entirely well-founded. Gusto's actions make perfect sense, and you have given me no reason to believe otherwise. God damn it. He's never going to let me talk to Mr. Gusto. Now, if you are quite done obstructing my investigation, I have things to be getting on with. That smug, self-righteous jerk. I'll give him something to be getting on with. What do we do, Mr. E? Tangaroa's finished if we can't figure something out. Things to be getting on with. What exactly could those things be? He has a body, a murder weapon, and a suspect in custody. The prosecution needs to pursue Mr. Tangaroa. Surely they have all they need. So why is Mr. Von Karma still investigating the scene of the crime? Something on your mind, Mr. E? We're missing something. Something important. Mr. Von Karma has everything he needs to proceed with the prosecution of Mr. Tangaroa. But yet, he still doesn't seem entirely confident of his case. If he was, why refuse to share information with Detective Bad? In addition, we still haven't solved the mystery of what happened to the evidence that went missing. Take another look at the scene. Okay. We've seen this before. Moving on. Missing victim's blood. Evidence that turned up in Mr. Tangaroa's room, but in a most unusual place. So no traces of Mr. Frost's blood left in Mr. Tangaroa's room. Yeah, we found some in the fountain instead. Why? Mr. Frost's blood went missing from the crime scene. But traces of it showed up in the fountain. Why go to the trouble of removing the blood from the scene after the body had been discovered? And why only the blood? Surely the blood would have been in the way. Wait, could someone have moved the body aside to get the blood? So the body might have been moved aside, or even removed from the scene of the crime entirely. After all, as far as we know, there's still no autopsy report. And that was the body came up after 18 years? Yo, what? I've learned plenty about the murder weapon as the suspect, but very little about the body itself. Our assumption thus far must be that the body had been recovered by the forensics team. What if that assumption is false? What if Mr. Von Karma wouldn't show Detective Bad the autopsy report outside something other than spite? What if we've been thinking about this the wrong way around all along? 18 years later. The question is, why did Mr. Von Karma hold back information about the body? Did Mr. Von Karma even have any information about the body in the first place? How do things look from that angle? Perhaps the body had been removed by the police in order to carry out an autopsy. Perhaps it had already been removed and hidden away by the culprit before their arrival. Mr. E? You've both heard the rumors about Mr. Von Karma's questionable methods. Fabricated witness statements, shady deals, forged evidence even. Sure, everybody's heard of that stuff, but what's that got to do with us right now? I would never judge a person on the basis of rumors alone. Even Mr. Von Karma, I'm trying my best not to let my preconceptions color our interactions with him. Nonetheless, it appears it may indeed be willing to twist the truth to his own end. To twist the truth? You mean, been playing dirty? I fear it might have been, and still is. I'm not about to let him get away with it. I'm returning to the prosecutor's office. Don't breathe a word about anything to that infernal attorney. Yes, sir.
Hold it!
Hold it! Yes, what is it now? I have a few questions, Mr. Von Karma, about a certain fact that you've been keeping from us. Really? You mean to call the methods of an officially sanctioned investigation into question yet again? I'm warning you, if you obstruct the police in their work any further, there will be consequences.
Objection!
It's not the police I have an issue with, Mr. Von Karma, it's you. It's you. What? Isn't it on the prosecution to work out who the real culprit of the crime is? What foolishness is this? I had no intention of debating what the prosecution's role is or not with the likes of you. But let me make one thing clear. My job is to identify suspects and ensure that every last one of them is convicted at all costs. Believe me when I say I leave absolutely no room for doubt when I present my perfect, unassailable case.
Objection!
Now, how far would you go for your perfect cases? Would you create facts out of whole cloth, perhaps? Huh, I thought you had outdone yourself already. But now you intend to accuse me of fabricating evidence? I do. Because it is why you've done nothing but hinder Detective Bad from doing his job at every turn. What are you talking about? You didn't shut him out of the investigation because you wanted him to keep an eye on us. You did it to stop him from finding out that you don't have the body. What? He doesn't have the body?
Objection!
Ridiculous. You're clutching at straws. I will tolerate no more of your preposterous slander. Then allow us to examine it. Prove me wrong if you can. I'm afraid you have to try a little harder than that. I am under no obligation whatsoever to prove your baseless accusations one way or another.
Objection!
As you must see for yourself, a piece of bloody chocolate is missing from the scene of the crime. Why did it disappear? And where did it go? What does it matter? Some blood went missing from the chest where the body was found. So what? So what indeed? That's precisely my question. The body was still at the scene when the police got here. By removing the blood would accomplish nothing. However, let us suppose for a moment the body was not. If someone had wanted to erase any trace of what had happened in that room, then it all makes perfect sense. I fucking love this song.
Objection!
And Von Karma ruined it. Fucker. What is the petty obsession with the blood stain? But since it's so important to you, why don't you tell me where you believe it went? Of course. After all, evidence is everything, as you never tire of telling us. I believe this should back up my theory quite nicely. What evidence do I have that shows where the blood from Mr. Tangaroa's room went?
Take that!
There it is. Traces of the victim's blood were found in the fountain, along with the traces of chocolate from Mr. Tangaropa's room. I believe the missing piece of blood-stained chocolate was dumped into the stream that flows to the fountain, which strongly points towards one certain fact. Someone purposely disposed of the blood after the body had been removed from the chest. Mr. Von Karma, where did you find the body? You didn't find it, did you? Answer me! You. Where did you get your hands on that kind of evidence? You have neither the authority nor the means to carry out that kind of analysis on the fountain water. No, but I do. Curse you, Bad. You've been a thorn in my side from the moment you were assigned. Well, no longer. As of now, you are officially off the case. I was barely on it in the first place. Mr. Von Karma, you still haven't answered my question. Will you admit it? Will you confirm that no body was ever recovered? Tisk, tisk, tisk. It's really quite the claim, you know. And for one you wish you'll never find any proof for, I'm afraid. What must I do to get an answer out of him? Now, if you don't mind, I have given you quite enough of my precious time already. I look forward to destroying you in court, Gregory Edgeworth. Your precious logic and theories won't save you then. Nothing will. Damn. Mark my words, Mr. Von Karma, your methods will be your undoing. No matter how you try to hide the truth, I'll bring it all to the light in the end. Damn. What a bastard, Doug. Wait, where's he going? That's up to the second floor. Wait, that's up to the second floor. Where is he going? Forgive me, Detective. I didn't mean to put you in a difficult position. Don't sweat it. It was always going to end this way. Honestly, nobody's ever sidelined me the way he did before. First time for everything, huh? You know, I think you might be right about the body being missing. I am, and I'll prove it in court. Well, if there's anything I can do to help, just say the word. Since you know, I'm off the case now. That's very kind, and I'm sorry to keep asking favors of you, Detective Dad, but there is one more thing. Oh shit, he's whispering something. Hey, what are you guys whispering about? Come on, let me in on the secret. Alright, Eddie. The detective and I were just arranging a little insurance for the trial. I think we have enough to see Mr. Tangaroa acquitted. But I prefer to have an ace in the hole, just in case. And what is it? You'll find out in the courtroom. Wait, what? You're letting me join you? Of course I am. You are my assistant after all. I'll be more than that by next year. I'll be a full-fledged attorney, you know. We could take on Mr. Von Karma together. Indeed. Though, I'm hoping we will have free Mr. Tangaroa by then. But if we're up against Mr. Von Karma, I guess we can't rule out the possibility that this might take some time. Right, but we'll do whatever we can in the meantime. I know you can beat Mr. Von Karma, Mr. E. I believe in you. Oh, this is so... this is so hard. This is so hard, bro. Just knowing what happens, bro. I think this was the case he was fighting in the courtroom that day, bro, and then he got killed. Oh, by Von Karma of all people, dog. Oh my god, I hate everything. Blech. He'll be a full-fledged streamer. Yeah, if only, you know? If only. We can't allow Mr. Tangaroa to remain in prison for a crime he didn't commit. And we won't. I'll expose Mr. Von Karma's lies if it's the last thing I do. Oh. Is that it for Greg? No. Damn it. I need more Gregory, damn it. Ugh, that is a hard pill to swallow.